Hello, good afternoon, and happy Wednesday, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Hey, Snake Eyes. Hey, Moose. Lebro, Eggbirds, and Mark. Hi. And Armando. How are you guys doing? How's everyone today? And Khan, how are you doing on this fine Wednesday afternoon?
Heyo, pretty good, thank you.
That's
Snake
great to
Eyes,
hear.
is that Rain Guard?
I think so. Yeah, pretty sure. Hey, Ted. How's it going? Hey, Ted Meister.
Hey Ted, that's a phrase I hear a lot.
I know, right? Yeah, pretty sure that's Rain Guard. Yes. Yeah, how's everyone doing? Hump Day. Like, is that like a demotivator for someone? I know some people really struggle with Wednesdays because, it's not quite start of the week. It's almost the weekend, but like it's really not. It's sort of halfway. It feels sort of meh. I've never felt that. Have you? Has anyone?
I don't know. It depends on your work, right?
I suppose, yeah.
When I had the square job back in the office, when it was office 7 days a week, 5 days a week, it definitely made a difference once you got to Thursday.
Yeah, that's true.
There's like a different feel, and obviously Friday afternoon.
Party time!
Yeah, it's just like, come on, let's go. But equally, Monday generally it's quite. I think Tuesday was the shit one, because that's like the low point.
Yeah. And it is Rain Guard, yeah. Moose, I think something very different when I hear Hump Day.
I'm just thinking of the dummy. Like, no, don't make me. I have so much to do. The dummy and I are going to hate each other.
You're going to spend too much time together.
Yeah, like two porn stars in a shoot that like overruns by several days. They would just loathe one another's presence.
Why did you just go straight to the porn star thing? Is that because of the humping?
Because of humping,
right,
yeah.
Right. Never mind. Oh, that's a nice birdie. Hey, birdie. Oh, bye, birdie. I'm in that square job, big 4. Is that so? You mean 4 days a week, or am I missing something? Am I being dumb? I'm just trying to see this dude. I am crouching, right? Yeah. What is he doing? Hey.
Yeah, as soon as you're working from home, it changes the structure of the week completely. The whole hump day thing. I don't know. It's never a thing I thought about. More relevant to me was the 3 o'clock slump.
But that's just energy.
When you just have low energy, yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to sort of power through. And it doesn't happen every day. And it's supposed to be because you get your deepest sleep at 3 in the morning. And it's sort of the mirror image of that. Plus you're digesting, like lunch is being digested, which saps energy from other parts of the body. I guess that's I'm not a biologist, but...
You've been told.
Yeah, that's like the theory, which makes sense.
The ordered big 4, right. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's sort of weird, because since, like, I've been working from home for forever, running my own business, and obviously content creation, so weekend is not really a thing for us. And yet, still, when it's Friday, it feels like, oh yeah, it's almost party, even though it's not party time. There is no party, it's work. But, it's still got that sort of feel, right? Is that because when you go to school and all of that, you get into that habit and it just then becomes a thing?
Yeah, I don't know. But it's very easy to crack those things and get out of them.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing, Lebro, so if you're in one of the big 4 accountancy firms, does that mean you basically have hump month rather than... So like, from mid-March to mid-April is just an absolute nightmare?
Yeah. Or
maybe it's earlier for you, I don't know.
Well, like January, or January even, really. So, Nust. I'm just wondering around Apocrypha. That's anyone out there that's their favorite zone? I think it's mine. I just love Apocrypha. I just love the craziness of it.
It's something that no other game has.
Yeah, right?
Like a zone which is genuinely open world, but also completely bizarre. Like that. The closest thing I can think of is that Avatar game that you played, which was quite good, but was kind of under... it wasn't particularly enthusiastically received by gamers. What was it called? Frontiers of Pandora?
Hey, thanks for the follow. Yes, it was, yeah.
Because that was open world. Well, it was a Ubisoft thing. So it was that usual Assassin's Creed-y big map, lots of things to traverse freely.
I got so frustrated because there was lots of stuff you could traverse that wasn't actually like the way, but I kept trying to find like the silliest route, and it wasn't the route. It's like, oh, come on. But yeah, the whole year is a nightmare. February, June, and October is the worst. Oh, okay.
Oh, really? Well, enough about that. We're here to be optimistic and positive.
And have fun. Hey, teeny tiny Ozizan. Come on, Ozizan. No, don't run away.
So I saw some cool stuff on, I think, at least one of these things was on PC Gamer. There was sort of bold predictions for 2025. One of these I already shared in the Discord if you're on there. And just a quick reminder, it was, very, very outside chance things that could happen in 2025. Hence, bold predictions. They weren't saying, we think these will happen. They said, there is an outside chance that they will, and wouldn't it be great if? So one of them was Half-Life 3, or some other Half-Life game gets announced, or in the way that Valve did with their last game, doesn't get announced, it just gets leaked to the point where everyone knows about it. Deliberately leaked.
Hey, Devil's Master.
It's a really weird thing. It's a really weird way of doing it, isn't it? That Valve they didn't say anything. They just let Deadlock slowly leak into the public sphere and get everyone really excited about it without them spending any money on marketing it.
It's kind of genius.
It is genius. It's exactly the kind of thing that they do over and over again. What an interesting company.
Ooh,
so
what did I
Half-Life
just get?
3 or Half-Life game was one of them. The other one, if you haven't seen this, was the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion remastered.
Oh,
The more I
yeah.
read about this, the more plausible it does actually seem that it might happen. The big reason, blah, 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 the very short version is that in the big court case regarding Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard,
Blah, blah, blah.
they shared a load, like an absolute treasure trove of documents for evidence in court. And there were a bunch of documents which weren't supposed to be shared, but which got shared anyway. And then, of course, all the press got hold of them. And yeah, and that's why we knew that Doom: The Dark Ages was coming. All we knew was that it was called Doom Year Zero. We saw some of the dates for the Elder Scrolls Online releases, but that wasn't really a surprise because we knew what was coming. And the next Elder Scrolls game being in development and a potential.
No, but saying Sky Oblivion?
Wasn't it? It's not that.
It's not
Wasn't
Sky
it
Oblivion, yeah.
It's not Sky Oblivion. That's a fan project. This would be an official thing.
Yeah, I know, right?
So basically, we saw a roster of all the games that they were working on from a couple of years ago, but that was all pre-deadlines being shifted during lockdown. So Doom Year Zero, as it was then called, codenamed, was supposed to be released in 2022. Elder Scrolls 6 was slated for 2024, and all of those things have been pushed back like multiple years.
Well, that worked, obviously.
But one of the things in there was Fallout 3 remastered, Oblivion remastered. And these are official internal documents, so I guess that means they are doing it, and it's only a matter of time. Whether or not it's a remaster in the vein of like Skyrim Special Edition, which is a meaningful remaster, but ultimately the same game, or like a ground-up rebuild. You'd hope it would be more of the second thing, right? Because it's nearly 20 years old now.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oblivion.
And hey, Lord GP, how you doing? And Devil's Master, I'm cold and so exhausted. Yeah, it's chilly here, man. It's crazy. Don't you just hate riding your bike with a strong wind against you? Yeah, that's not fun. Or if it's like sideways, that's even worse. Oh, look at the flowers.
Unless you've got long hair and you're trying to look cool.
In that case, yeah. And Indiana Jones said 2022, I think. So maybe add 2 years to everything. Oh, that would be fun. Oh, look, Lord GP, I'm doing better than yesterday. Khan is a blessing.
Well, we're not done yet. We're trying to figure out... I actually would like to do some testing on this when I get around to DK, which is pretty soon. So I've just got to get the Stamina Arcanist out of the way, then the Magic of Dragon Knight, and then I'll be devoted to Stamina Dragon Knight for at least a few days.
Since I got an electric bike, wind is fine.
But seriously, I know you didn't play a ton of Oblivion,
That's slow. Yeah.
Maya, but
Maya.
there got to be some people out there who are like nerding the fuck out at the idea of a beautifully updated, remastered Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. It's so many people's favorite.
Yeah, I think that would be insane. Yeah. I can imagine the reactions would be pretty positive. And yeah, Lord GP saying, no problem, buddy. I have time and I'm dedicated. I'm not in a hurry. Moose, I would pay $100 for a barely updated Oblivion. Yeah, well, there we go. Yeah, I think that would be pretty epic, right? And Igir says recommendations for a PvE Magicka Nightblade. What do you want to... Is there for trials, dungeons, solo?
Yeah, what do you want to do with it?
Same for Fallout 3. Yeah, that remastered, that would be pretty cool. I think anything remastered, updated, and sort of brought to spec with what's being released now. Yeah, if you love that game, it's just it's amazing, right? Well, could be.
Yeah.
Imagine the streaming possibilities.
Did anyone pay attention to the big Nvidia announcement at CES yesterday? So new graphics cards, obviously. One of them in particular looks, I think it's the 5080. It looks absolutely beautiful. It's like a Lamborghini of graphics cards. And after a couple of years of not looking that great, I think the current ones, the one that you and I have got, I've got a 3090, I think, and Maya's got a 4080. Get you, Maya. They already look really beautiful. The shrouds are really nice, but this one is something else. It looks really gorgeous. But also
it's also really cheap, right?
Yeah, super cheap, as always. And the ones that most people will get won't be found as editions. Obviously, the shroud will be manufactured by someone like Asus or Gigabyte or whatever, and will look mediocre, to say the least. But anyway, what I wanted to say was, if you haven't checked it out, there's a lot more about AI and what they can do with it now. Some of it I'm scared. I don't think we're ready for it. But a lot of it is not to do with creating new stuff. It is to do with doing what games can already do in theory, but doing them using far less processing power. So, for example, we talked already about the Siam level in Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, right, Maya?
Yeah.
This is a jungle. It's literally a jungle. The level, it's not completely open world. You're sort of confined to waterways and paths. As soon as you try to go off track, you can't. You find that you bump up against invisi-walls, and so. But that's fine. It's that kind of game. But visually, provided you don't try to bump into everything like a Roomba finding its way around the living room for the first time, the illusion is magnificently solid. Like you really buy that you're in this incredibly overgrown, lush, vegetated environment, and the processing power required to do it is fucking crazy. My rig is pretty awesome, but I have to turn some things off in this part of the map that I don't in the Vatican City or in Giza, where it's, architecture, walls, and sand.
I was going to say, lots and lots of sand.
And a lot of it is to do with the translucency of leaves, right? So when the sunlight is coming through some trees and then some ferns, you can see the leaves through the canopy of leaves in front. So it needs to calculate all of that translucency and all of that geometry. And yeah, I mean, I'm no engineer, but even I can imagine that's a nightmare. And there's an AI-powered system. It's something to do with opacity something a micro mapping. I think it's opacity micro mapping it's called, and it drastically speeds up by like a factor of 10 the ability of systems to process that kind of information. So normally you'd have to turn everything down, lower the lighting quality, lower the quality of the vegetation, or remove any kind of movement animation from the vegetation, so it's all static, or your game is just shit and you're getting 10 frames a second. But yeah, you can instead just flick this on if you have a card and a game. I think Indie was the first game that had this, and you can still run it at 100 frames per second. I'm simplifying, but you get the idea. Anyone else see this? So they're talking a lot about things like that. So that your GPU won't have to render the leaves blowing along the ground and rotating and knocking into one another. It will just render a very, very basic set of geometry and then let AI do the rest.
That's very cool. Yeah. Just to
not a new idea. It's just
So the question goes, Master, any gear sets recommendation for a PvE Magicka Nightblade? This character is Dunmer, but does that make any difference? Just wondering if she could be using stamina mostly, and it's for solo. So it's a Magicka Nightblade, but you want to be using stamina mostly for solo.
What do you mean by solo? Is this overland? Are you doing arenas with it, or are you talking about doing like Balsanar solo on hard mode?
Herd? Do not enter on herd.
Because generally for solo stuff, if things are dying often, get hold of Sul'Zan. That's an amazing set. Yes, it is medium, but as long as you combine it with a light set, then you have enough flexibility, right? You can swap a few medium pieces off the body, move some light pieces on the body, and you're generally ready for anything. You can get your pen up to where it needs to be. Then if you do some dungeons with buddies, or you do Infinite Archive and there's a tank with you, then you don't need as much light armor for the pen. But then again, you might need it for sustain. Yeah.
Yeah, so Sul'Zan, which is a trial set, obviously, from Rogrove. AI is both fascinating and terrifying. Yeah. Well, it's just...
this is the non-terrifying AI, fortunately, so we can talk about it without mixed feelings. Well, except for the fact that, and this is NVIDIA's own showcase, most of it was mind-blowingly cool. They were showing what's actually being rendered, and showing how an incredible gaming rig would struggle to render it. And they'd say, right, let's turn everything down, turn AI on, frames are suddenly quadrupled and everything looks way better, because there are things that AI is just better at than having to... it's better at some things than others. The thing I was least convinced by was this facial AI that they said, right, you can use an overlay on very basic facial animations, and it will sort of create a consistent face there instead. I did not think... I mean, it looked instantly like AI, you know, in the way that a generative AI image, you can usually tell.
So Devil's Master saying, yeah, good question, Khan. I kind of want to just complete zone solo, and if possible, do solo public dungeons and perhaps world bosses.
I would say you can almost copy the trash setup then in my Magblade guide. The last one was for Gold Road, but it hasn't really changed. It hasn't changed at all, the trash setup. So let me just bring that up. What did I recommend? I can't even find my own channel. There we go. Magicka Nightblade. It was Sul'Zan and Burning Spellweave, Priatheeric, and an Urmage. Yes, if you're mostly dealing with multiple targets, the logic there is your light attacks are still important. You want to do them, but they are, unless you're using a two-hander, they are completely single target damage. So, not so useful. And that also means you can swap to Ring of the Pale Order if you're going up against a trickier public dungeon group event, like the one in... Help me out here, Maya. What's the one in near Necrom?
Oh, yeah.
Gorn?
Yeah, that sounds about right,
That one is genuinely difficult to solo if you don't bring the appropriate setup. If you just bring like a squishy trash setup, which is what I always run everywhere in Overland. It's just the same thing I'd bring to Dungeons and Trials. Yeah, I don't have enough pen, but it doesn't matter. Everything just dies in a couple of hits. Yeah,
exactly. People in chat are saying, just do whatever. Yeah, basically, obviously, if you are struggling with some of these things, like the the public dungeons or the world bosses, then a bit more of a specialized setup. Just make sure you've got what you need. But yeah, ultimately,
it's hard to oversell Pale Order. Even when you feel like it's not really necessary. Think of if you're taking a little bit of damage, your health drops to like 60, you might stop to pop a heal. With Pale Order, you don't even need to slot a heal, let alone cast it. So it's not always the power loss that people might think. So don't sleep on Pale Order. I think it's really strong and just really convenient. But also, you can have fun with things like Swallow Soul. That's a ton of fun. I know it's not super strong, but as soon as you factor in the heal as an actual thing of value, then yeah, it's absolutely competitive. It's just that if you're doing dungeons, if your group is remotely competent, you shouldn't really need a self-heal of that magnitude on your spammable. So the other spammables which use their power budget for damage are more attractive. But yeah, what other set could you pair it with? You could just go simple with something like War Maiden.
Just quickly, is Reliquin and Runecarver still good for a mag DK?
Yes, very.
There we go. That's it. Done.
Runecarver pretty much anywhere, honestly. If the fight lasts long enough for your dots to be rolling constantly, so a proper boss fight. But the beauty of it is provided things are stacked enough for your AoEs to tick on everything. Like a lot of Magical Dragon Knight's dots are not single target. So what have we got? We've got what would you use on a Mag DK? We've got Blockade of Fire. Anything that stands in that is going to get Runecarver procs, right? What else? Eruption, same. Flames of Oblivion doesn't trigger it. If you're using Degeneration, because you need the Brutality and Sorcery, then yeah, that's single target. Trap is single target, and Venomous Claw is single target. Every other dot that you have, like Carve and Talons, yes, they apply a single target dot, but they apply it to everything that gets hit by the initial hit of the ability, right? So it's a single target dot applied to like 4 or 5 different enemies. So Runecarver works actually really, really well, even in a multi-target fight. So Reliquin obviously becomes quite weak if damaging secondary targets is really important, but usually it isn't. Actually, people get a little bit overexcited about, oh, well, you know, Captain Vrol, hard mode, there are lots of ads in that fight, so I need to bring a cleave setup. Absolutely wrong. You want to bring a single target setup, and then if you've got cleave, or if you're able to use Azure Blight to boost your single target damage, you're basically just using the boss's ads against him. That is a thing to do, but what we don't do is build for cleave, lowering our single target in order to raise our AoE damage.
Does Runecarver apply to non-fire dots as well? I thought it was applying only fire, or am I tripping?
No. Any dot whatsoever, except for status effects and procs. So the dot from Reliquin doesn't apply Runecarver ticks. The burning status effect, hemorrhaging, poisoned, they don't apply Runecarver ticks. Literally everything else.
Another question from Martin. Can you still play 2 fire staves on Mugblade?
Yes. It's just not very good. If you want to demonstrate why, you need only press K. Go to Weapon, Destruction Staff, and Ancient Knowledge.
Yep.
With Destruction Staff equipped, Inferno Staves increase your damage done with dots and status effects by 12%. Lightning Staves increase your damage done with direct damage and channels by 12%. Ice Staff, yeah, you wouldn't care about that. So, how many dots do you have on a Mag Blade? It's like 45% of your damage. Boosting 40% of your damage by 12% is not it's not enough to compete with just having daggers. So you would be better off with a Lightning Staff on the front bar, but even then, it's going to be maximum probably 60-40 split. This is the reason this passive isn't terribly well designed, in my humble opinion. Like, it's a really good idea, but in practice, whenever I do DPS tests, I almost always check what the split is between dots and direct damage, and between AoE and single target damage. It's important to know, right? And the vast majority of the time, you're talking 55 to 45%, sometimes 52 to 48. It's a really, really narrow split. Then you've got like Arcanist, where it's 80-20. And DK, which can obviously go a little bit higher. You know, you get like 65%, 70% maybe. But yeah, that's why Inferno front bars are pretty rare. Now it's really only Arcanists that can justify using them. And even then, daggers tend to win out because of things like Blade Cloak.
Oh no!
So useful.
What?
and the value of having that Nern honed in the main hand and all the dual wield passives.
My game made the crashes.
Oh no!
Alright, there's another question. How would you say Nern set compares to Rune Cover on a DK setup with Reliquan? Where are the advantages or disadvantages of the two? What do you think?
Well, Rune Cover will get you more single target damage, and it will get you more AoE damage. And it's a light set, so if you absolutely cannot have any light pieces in your setup,
You can has.
then obviously that's a disadvantage. It does have a line of pen on it. If you absolutely don't need any more pen, then it's kind of a double disadvantage, because equipping a light piece, which you do need to do with Rune Carver, you can front bar it, like I do it on the Arcanist, but Arcanist is kind of a special case. You really don't want to front bar Rune Carver if you can help it. It's like Azure Blight. You want those on the body. I don't mean you can't have them on jewelry, but you don't want them on the weapons so that when you bar swap, the 5-piece goes away. That's the thing. Because there's no telling how many Rune Carver ticks you will miss while you're on your back bar for a few seconds. That's less likely to happen to Arcanists because the vast majority of our Rune Carver ticks come from the brr, the beam.
You're the beam.
Which ticks rapidly. The other thing worth saying about Rune Carver is, because we had a couple of questions about that, don't forget, you'll get more out of it from a ground dot than you will from a sticky dot. Sticky dots tick every 2 seconds. Ground dots tick every second. So if I apply degen to a target, I'll get a Rune Carver pop every 6 seconds. Whereas if I put caltrops down, or blockade, or eruption, or whatever, every 3 seconds. So I get literally twice the damage out of it. And this is why Necro and DK, they have a lot of ground dots in their setup, especially Necromancer, which has Siphon, detonating Siphon. That ticks 3 times every 2 seconds. So it's more than once a second. So you get extra DPS out of Rune Carver from that. So yeah, that's why it's difficult to say this set better than that set, because it's all circumstantial, right? Whereas on a Nightblade, Pillar of Nirn is probably better, because you're just not getting enough. Unless you really build for it, you're probably not going to make it work. But yeah, so Pillar of Nirn, by contrast, it's very easy to proc. It's going to work, no matter. It's very good on single target. It stacks with other bleeds. It isn't good for cleave, because although it does pop in an AoE, and everything that gets hit will get that single target dot applied, the AoE is pretty small. Let me just remind myself. I want to say it's 5 meters. No, it's 2.5 meters.
That's very small.
That's the radius. So yeah, it's 5 meters in total. Mm-hmm. That's what I was thinking of. But yeah, 2.5 meter radius. Bear in mind that meters in this game are not what you would expect. See, my character... See, Maya's character there is over 3 meters tall, probably, in-game measurements.
Yeah, he is!
Yeah, he is.
He's a big boy.
Yeah, so that, like... I don't know that I'm completely correct with that, but, like, if you take something like... I don't know, Ritual of Retribution, and you say, well, I know how wide that AoE is, and then you sort of calculate the ratios. Well, the radius is this, my character is X high. It doesn't stack up. Like, most of us are between 160 and 200 centimeters tall, but the characters in ESO are a lot taller than that, which leads us to sort of overestimate the size of a meter in game. Anyway, what else about Pillar of Nirn?
It's very pillory, I've noticed.
It stays on the target is obviously quite a big advantage. But then again, so does Rune Carver. Provided your dots are moving when the target moves, you replace your dots. Whereas something like Aegis Caller, Whirl of the Depths, if things move, then yeah, you can lose the damage because it stays in one place. Like dropping an ulti and then the target moves out of it. Pillar of Nirn, you don't really run that risk.
Hey, Borgonian Evolution. Morning, scrollers. Hello, morning, and happy Wednesday.
We get a lot of technical questions here.
So what's the theory behind Velothi decreasing your light attack damage to 99%? How important is weaving at this point, or is it whatever?
It's as important as it ever was, pretty much.
Yes.
Because, well, maybe not quite as important, but still you want to hit every light attack. because you care about your ultimate, right? All ultimates tend to
Suck.
Ultimates tend to have a big impact.
I'm really
on
trying to
our
bring some jokes in that. It's really, really heavy lifting.
trying to get a word in edgeways, yeah. So a very like thick end of the wedge example is an Arcanist paying attention to off-balance phases, or a Warden paying attention to off-balance phases. If you've got a Warden,
I thought that was
or
a
an
hound chasing me. That's my dog. Never mind. Ignore me.
you know how much damage those ults do and how valuable it can be to, on an Arcanist, drop your Languid Eye just as that off-balance phase kicks in. You're running the Exploiter CP, you've got a very diligent healer, maybe a tank, or something in the group comp, keeping it off balance, more or less on cooldown. And so you get your ult back in time with major heroism, minor heroism, sorry, via a banner or whatever it is, to drop those ults on cooldown. It's a lot of people only experience this on the target dummy, but believe me, it is a thing in content. It absolutely is.
It's hump day, baby. Yeah, exactly.
But an easier one to get to relate to is the Warden. Again, off balance phases, really nice, especially if you're, say, on a Magden, you're using the Screaming Cliff Racer spammable, which increases your damage done against off balance. It increases your weapon and spell damage. Let me just check. Yeah, increase your weapon and spell damage by 400 after damaging an off-balance enemy. So what you really want to do is you want to fire the Cliff Racer so that you're definitely going to get that bonus during the off-balance phase, and then you want your ult to be ready in those 6 seconds.
I really didn't think you were going to say bonus.
If you're not light attacking, your ult is going to regenerate so much more slowly. That is the short version of what I was just waffling on about.
I got
basically.
geometry out of the game, and the characters are about 2.3 meters. A base Breton? Andrew Pick, that's a cool fact. Thank you.
Breton.
Yeah, a base Breton.
That's the shortest one.
Yeah.
Oh no, Wood Elves are the shortest.
But yeah.
You see my point. So like a High Elf or a Nord is going to be 2.5 meters. Easy. Thanks for confirming. That's awesome.
One of my biggest issues is understanding what determines what makes front bar attacks and procs versus back bar.
Okay. Yeah, that is a little bit complicated. So, for instance, let's say you've got an Inferno staff on your back bar, you've got daggers on your front bar. Whenever you're on your back bar, all of your dual, same with when you swap, all those destruction staff passives are gone. They're not active at that time. Equally, anything that you have applied to the weapons, so your precise trait or your charge trait on your front bar goes away when you're on your back bar. The exception is something like the infused trait, which we generally use. Damage dealers always use that on the back bar in conjunction with a weapon damage glyph. That continues to roll because it affects the enchantment. And what you do is you put down a ground AoE. It has to be a ground AoE, Endless Hail, Stampede, Blockade, and then that will trigger that enchantment, whatever it is. It might be a concussion enchantment, a shock enchantment on a Magsork, for example. That's rare. It's almost always a weapon damage. But the infused trait, that will stay active in a weird way, even though you are on your front bar, because you're activating it while your ground dot is up. So that's one exception. Other exceptions are things like Arms of Reliquien. When you swap, say you've got Reliquien daggers. Usually we run Reliquien on the body, but you can run it on the front bar. Say you're doing that, or Pillar of Nirn, or Whirl of the Depths, or whatever. Any of these, it's true for this. When you swap to your back bar, that 5-piece...
Oh no, Borgonian Evolution did add just destroy all of that. Damn. I don't get a pop-up when there's an ad on YouTube.
Well, when you go to your... I'll just continue and people can ask for a reminder. What was this? So when you go to your back bar, the 5-piece and the 4-piece of the set that is on your front bar, whether it's Pillar of Nirn, Reliquien, Whirl of the Depths, whatever you're using, Deadly Strike, that goes away. And it doesn't affect the next few seconds, 1 second, 2 second, 3 seconds, whatever it is that you're on your back bar. However, Pillar of Nirn, Whirl of the Depths, Arms of Reliquien, these are procs that activate and then they stay active. So you'd have to be on your back bar for 5 seconds in order for Reliquant to actually run out. You won't get any new refreshed ticks, but the dot will still be rolling whilst you're on your back bar, as long as you don't let it run out. Same with Pillar of Nirn. It will still be there. If the target already has the Pillar of Nirn dot active, or the Whirl of the Depths dot is on it, you swap to your back bar and it stays there, because it's already happened. It's only the ability to trigger it which goes away. And obviously that 4-piece line, whatever it is, in the case of Reliquien, that's, well, that's crit, isn't it?
It's crit.
Crit chance goes away when you're on your back bar. So, yeah, you want to stay on your back bar as you want to go there as little as possible. You want to get back your destination bar. That's what we've called it in the past, haven't we, Maya?
Yeah.
A long time. But that's how you want to think of your front bar. Does that help? But again, if you have you've got a poison glyph and a flame glyph on your front bar, obviously those won't work. You won't be able to trigger any new status effects with those glyphs while you're on your back bar. With 2 exceptions. One, if they've already popped, your target has already got burning and poisoned. Obviously, that doesn't go away when you bar swap. It's still there. You just can't reactivate it until you go back to the front bar. And the other exception is if you have Deadly Cloak running. Again, this is a bit like the ground dot we talked about with the weapon damage glyph. Deadly Cloak means you're still attacking your enemy with your dual wield bar, even when you're on your back bar. So you can actually proc poisoned and a burning or whatever it is from the enchantments you have on your daggers. It's I'm reminding myself right now why this is so confusing. So that's a totally good question.
Yeah, if you have any questions, any follow-ups, just join our Discord, tag Khan there, or our PvE senpais, and
And read your tooltips. The game is more helpful than it might seem. I know the tutorial is very wanting, but one of the biggest tips for anyone really is when you're in game, hit F1 and up pops the tutorials panel. Now, this used to be very basic.
Whoa, it's massive now.
Yeah, like a year ago, I think. For example, I type in, I don't know, status effects. And there we go. That section is actually really good. It doesn't have everything, but if you've got questions about scribing, status effects, ultimate generation, off balance, I don't know if off balance is in there, but they actually added a ton of stuff about a year ago. I think it was just over a year ago.
Moose is saying, I've been linking the block tutorial in groups since 2017. And yeah, Borgonian Evolution, if you want some tips on DPS, like Khan is I think the DPS content creator in ESO. So check out the YouTube, check out the website, and ask whether you see us live or on Discord just anytime.
That's a bold claim, but I'm always here, certainly. So feel free to throw us a question or a DM anytime in the Discord or just personally.
There was also Lebro asking, what do you think of OpenSoul? And let's keep that one short.
It's situational. It's better than some people think. It's nowhere near as useful as other people think. And part of me wishes, part of me does wish they hadn't stumbled into the current iteration of it.
Oh my god, Acid Face. Khan, he's the man. If he can't DPS, no one can. Love that.
Again, that's a very bold claim. I am not the best DD in ESO by any stretch of the imagination. However, I put a lot of time and effort into helping people understand what the community at large has
because posting
discovered.
dummy humps like, hey, I can do this is like, it's okay, but like that's not really helpful. It's great and sort of helpful to see for others who are sort of around that to see, right, so that's roughly the cap, because I know that if this person's posting it, that's the best that one can get, but you can't really go and replicate that. It's more sort of to get an idea. But yeah, Khan breaks it down and tries to come up with static rotations that are easy to replicate, but actually are freaking strong. So often people hear static and they're like, yeah, but that's like for noobs. No, it really isn't. So Do check it out. Solo content, is it worth it? I mean, OpenSoul. Hey, Acid Phase.
I would say it's tricky. It depends how lazy you are. But basically, OpenSoul is really strong on Mag Sork. In situations where infinite sustain is really valuable, then OpenSoul literally gives you that. But actually, for solo content, if the content becomes difficult, like you won't see any. Like if you open up the Infinite Archive scoreboard, the leaderboards, you won't find many people on there using OpenSoul. You just won't. They're using Pale Order because it is immeasurably stronger, in my opinion.
Khan says no. I say yes. Ducks a hit from Khan. It is worth it if you want to just keep things simple. I'll just put it this way: like I'm not exactly an amazing DD because it's the thing that I play the least, but I am pushing to get better, and I've got some fun stuff coming up. But I've never even dug it up. Like I'm doing solo content, but I've never even dug it up. I don't have it, and I don't intend to get it because I don't need it. Like if I was really struggling and just wanted to keep it really simple, like I get why lots of streamers do it because. Then you just, you can think, you can just chill. You can just heavy attack. You can just keep it simple. I get that. But, we've been given 2 bars, so I want to be using 2 bars.
Yeah, it's like playing football with 1 foot. Why would you do that? Like, or playing piano with 1 hand. Sure, if you're like 4 and you're just starting out, but you're to like continue because you've seen a YouTube video that says this is the only setup you will ever need. 1 hand is all you'll ever need to play the piano. I think no one would argue that you're missing out, clearly, if you just go 1 bar like all the time. You're missing out on a huge part of what makes the game fun. And that's fine if if they know all about that and they do 2 bar, 1 bar, depending on what they're up to. Hyper recently posted some fun dungeon trifecta solo videos, like older dungeons, and in at least one of them I think he is using an OpenSork. Because it can be really powerful. And that's what he needed. Or that's one way to give him what he needed.
Yeah.
So definitely not dunking on the set, but one thing I always want to remind people is that it's not something people get too ideological about it. Like OpenSoul or no console. It's like, no, don't just have it as one of the tools in your kit. Don't be one of those people who's like, no, this is the only way I play the game. Because you're just destroying the game for yourself. Yeah,
it sounds familiar, Khan. The ultimate build guide. All right, you can have a higher possible max DPS with a super simplified rotation without OpenSoul. Oh yeah, that's sort of the point.
That's another very good point.
That's
Absolutely
moose,
right.
Yeah. Bogoni Evolution. I watched a lot of your videos. I get my build started already. Don't take this the wrong way, but every build video I have seen for pass training and weaving is done with full CP and golden gear. No new player starts with that, let alone understands how important to what you can do that all is. But that's true. But that's the whole point that Khan's videos, they're not builds. It's about rotations with some recommendations for gear. But, the first thing that Khan usually says whenever it comes to sort of recommending anything is it's situational. It depends what you're doing, with whom and where. It's always very important. So it's about the rotation, and that doesn't matter whether you're CP1 or 10,000. I know I'm exaggerating, obviously, but
10,000.
But that's the
imagine if they do that next year. They increase the CP cap to 10,000.
But that's the important thing. And also, it is obviously if you are making a build video, it's like have you heard of Highland Sentinel? The set, a lot of people. Well, it's the thing to use on the dummy. It adds a lot of DPS, but you saying that it's situational content. It's extremely niche because you have to stand completely still. So it's very unlikely to be the best performing.
I've seen it once.
Yeah.
I think how long it's been out. It's been out for over 6 months.
So it is.
And I've seen it in ESO logs. I've seen a Highland Sentinel used once. I'm sure, obviously, it's been used more than that.
Yeah.
I don't check every log, but I have looked for it.
So
and I've seen one player in one fight.
It's basically a cheese for dummy, and that's okay as long as people know that that's what it is. But the problem with that, if you have content creators going, hey, I can pass 135, and then they're all using Highland Sentinel. If you then release a guide where you use your, 20 CP, no proper, all wide gear, no proper, suddenly you're like, hey, I can make 50k DPS. Nobody's going to click on that.
No, the thing is, it's not about the build, it's about the rotation.
That's what I was saying, yeah.
Because the build changes.
Yeah. That is literally the first thing I said. I was sort of saying, obviously for content, people want to put, hey, this rotation at its best, performed at its best, this is what it can do.
Yeah,
but
it's a semi-useful benchmark.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Not the end. It's only the beginning of the story. It's not the end. But the other thing is, even if you do change the rotation as well, which you do a little bit from time to time, like sometimes you'll use Barb Trap on an Arcanist, sometimes you won't, because you don't need the Minor Force. And what if you're cleaving? You don't care about a single target dot with a little bit of hemorrhaging. You just don't give a shit, so you ditch it. Or you may keep it slotted, but you're more likely to have Camo Hunter or something like that in its place. You certainly won't cast it. There we go, the rotation changes. Similarly, you might get rid of Fulminating Rune. You might get rid of Scalding Rune. But if you've learned the rotation with those things, then you can easily tweak it. Because you've learned its transferable knowledge and muscle memory.
Yeah, and
that's the point.
That's exactly why we recommend people go and dummy hump and post a pass if they want some help. It's not to be like, hey, check my dupes. It's practice the rotation. That's why because I mostly play tanks and healers as well. We have nothing like that. We can't go and practice, right? But yeah.
Also, we don't recommend people spend a day after day dummy humping. We do have a couple of people who join the Discord and get very excited about that, and I've literally said, I'm on the record as saying, remember to actually play. We don't want you to burn out of the game because dummy humping is boring. That's not fun. And once your muscle memory is good, you're fine. You don't have to keep pushing for 2k more, 1k more. And finally, on the subject of champion points, yes, they do make a difference, but they don't make anything impossible. The old champion point system, which is, years ago now, is so long ago that they changed it. But CP 1.0, as we'll call it, that was really meaningful. Like, you would die to stuff that wouldn't kill other players. And yes, there are some particular CPs you can use that make a very big difference. Like Exploiter in Trash, for example, is a very good example.
Yeah, saying, right, but the path to get those abilities unlocked and usable, that's the thing, though. The videos that Khan puts out, they're not they're not beginner videos for, Overland. Khan has added, or is in the process of adding, beginner setups to all the classes as well. So those will be exactly that. Sort of, what do you do to start with? But when it comes to skills, might as well just start unlocking the ones you need, right?
Yeah, none of the skills are locked behind anything except Alliance War. And that's easy. Just do some PvP. You don't even have to be good at it. It'll happen.
Yeah, it's all about the practice, and that's, I don't particularly... I don't know how many people actually love humping, and I mean dummy, just to, get your mind out of the gutter. But it's practice. It's great, and I really enjoy doing that, yeah. People talk crap on other people's builds just to play how you want. Let's Tricles that hard modes 2 on my crap sorg with a crap set. I'm just sorry. I'm not 100% sure. I think the John.
Yeah, but you're reading it, but the rest of us aren't. So if you can just read it.
No, I am trying to figure out what it says. Play how you want. I get it. I get a lot of clears. I'm guessing. Hard modes 2 on my crap sorg with a crap set. Lol. They know nothing. Well, John, that's the thing, though. Because in a trial, you've got 12 people, right? So if you have even a couple of people, DDs, that are learning or, haven't got a proper setup, they get through, but they didn't get through, on their own. And if you had 12 people who are not really prepared for a veteran trial or hard mode, then the group might struggle. That's the way to look at it, rather than, hey, I was in a group, I just rocked up with whatever I wear normally and got through easily.
Yeah, it's a sliding scale, right? Of course you can... So in some groups, like at the very, very top end of things, I used to be in a group that was doing Planesbreaker. We didn't get it because we lost too many people and the group didn't reform. It might do in the future, who knows? But that was literally the raid lead would say to me, don't run this, don't run this skill, run that skill. And in order for me to get my way and say, no, I'm going to run what I want, I would have to demonstrate to him using maths, or logs or data that, no, what I'm doing will give me more damage. It's going to be better. And then he would say, oh, fine, then that's fine. It's not my will against yours. It's whatever's best for the group. So there are groups at that end of things where literally you one hair is out of formation and the raid lead will tell you, no, put that back because we need every gram of power that we can get. Now, 99.9% of groups don't have to worry about that. And for example, so we've got some really good groups in this guild who are doing we've got the Dawn group on Saturday mornings doing multiple Griffin Hearts every session, but it's chill. The raid lead mode doesn't care what class you bring, so it's a sliding scale, right? But there does come a point where it's unacceptable. No, your damage is way too low, or what you're doing here doesn't really make sense, and then that's where the whole play however you want ethos breaks. There comes a point where it breaks, you know what I mean? So, it's wrong to say you must follow the meta. Of course not. If anyone says that, you can pretty much disregard their entire deal. But there are groups where that is true. But equally, when someone says you don't need to pay any attention to the meta, it's absolute nonsense. Throw those people out the window as well, because they're wrong. There are spaces in between where both of those things are true. You can do what you want. You can follow the meta or not, doesn't matter. But there are points at both ends of the scale where that breaks, where that logic breaks. So you kind of have to take a more nuanced overview of it. Does that make sense? That's fair, right?
I get that, yeah.
Why am I asking? It is fair.
Yeah.
I know it is. But yeah, for the majority of time, you don't need to sweat about this stuff. And the people who are following what they might think is the meta slavishly, well,
it's not always going to work for the group.
Well, maybe for the dummy hump that they looked at, or for the particular group that they looked at in logs. But what about where they are right now with this group? Is anyone doing off balance? No. So don't exploit it, even though it is quote unquote meta. Is your group like split all over the place? So you're not really getting the buff up times that you would expect in a really tightly organized group. No. So unslot that meta ability and put on something else which gives you minor resolve or minor berserk or whatever
it's something we talk about on this channel a lot, that people get carried away, like when Hyperiox sees
the goalposts move all the time.
And thank you Acid Face for the sub. Thank you so much. Hang on, what, you subbed at tier 1 for 6 months in advance? What? Holy shit, thank you. And still so happy I met you guys. You both are awesome. Thanks for really making ESO come alive. Oh, thank you. That's yeah, exactly. Thank you, Khan. That's what I was gonna say. Yes.
But yeah, the thing is to just be inclusive and not be too didactic and ideological and puritanic. You must play this way. No, chill out.
Like I say this on the channel a lot. It always makes me so sad when somebody joins the guild and they're like, can I bring my, I don't know what it is, Templar healer to trials? They told me in the other guilds that I'm not allowed. I'm like, of course you can. That's so dumb. Unless it's like score push where every teeny tiny percentage of literally everything matters. No, and
then the raid lead will be able to explain, or they should be able to explain why they need you to do something. And a good raid lead will exactly be able to do that. They'll be able to specify, okay, so in case you didn't know, here's how this mechanic works. Or in case you didn't know, we're not getting this buff through other means, so we need you to provide it.
Yeah, absolutely.
A bad raid lead will just go, oh no, it's meta.
Yeah.
And that's, a red flag.
Yeah, Borgonian, like there is, I think, Moose also said that people get too carried away with sort of CP and sets. They somehow think that's going to add hundreds of DPS. No, rotation actually is really, really important. Like, on the NA server, because I'm still very much a baby character there, I've done some vet trials. It was kind of terrifying, but I tanked some bosses. Bring it. So you can, as long as you sort of know, there are some things that I'm definitely used to on the EU.
Your performance is probably, it's just nowhere near what you'd expect of yourself on the
But
EU
it's
server.
mostly sort of that shock of, normally I can just stand in that, or normally I just block that and I'm fine. I can't do that. But other than that, like if you know what you're doing, you can do plenty and absolutely carry. What's the word I'm looking for? You know,
Pull your weight.
Thank you. That's the one. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and the other way to look at it is that raiding together, unless you are in again one of those sweaty groups, is very score pushy and very, very, very optimized, and that is the basis on which everyone is there. You know, we're not here to make friends; we're here to break world records, that kind of thing. That's very rare. Most of the time, it's an inherently social endeavor, isn't it? So there are two ways of being rude to people that we should avoid. One, by allowing ourselves to get carried by doing a terrible job, and if all 8 DDs in the group was doing what we're doing, the run would fail miserably. You know, we mustn't be that guy. And the other guy to avoid being is the one who like tells people what to do unnecessarily. But sometimes it's hard for new players to know which one they're dealing with.
Yeah.
Am I dealing with someone who's actually trying to help me? And because we're typing in zone chat or whispering one another, it's hard to pick up on any sort of nuance or tone? Or am I dealing with a toxic dickbag who just wants to like impose their view
Yeah.
on others because they learned something 2 days ago and now they want to go around, you know, explaining it to everyone else?
Yeah, what Moose is saying, like a more expensive instrument or car or whatever equipment doesn't magically make you a pro until you know how to use it. Yeah, like with everything, yeah. That's true.
a good example,
Yeah. I like that. Yeah, that's
What are you up to there, Maya?
same thing as you.
You're doing your Ritz.
Yes. It's story time, Khan. Are you ready to do some story? And Ted Meister, what's your thoughts on Celine's currently using a full monster set?
It's really good. It depends how much... The proc damage is very nice, but a lot of the value of the Celine proc comes from the Sundered uptime that you get from it. So if your Sundered uptime's already very good, it's not as valuable.
Sorry, Acid Face, I'm just a toxic dig bag, baby. Come with me Friday, don't say maybe. Yeah, I think the first time one of our groups, we started in normal, and then Vet doing, this is years and years ago, all the crag lawns and everything, and then we got into obviously VSS. But yeah, we had a tank who was about 350 CP. And yeah, we just needed to make sure that his build worked. But yeah, counteracted whatever he needed, but we did make it work. Well, he did, whatever, but yeah. So, which server are you going to be on, Khan?
I'm going to stay on EU. Where were we yesterday? No, we went on NA, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
So shall I do that?
Whatever you want.
We're going to be on there later, but yeah, what the hey?
What the hey?
I'll go to the NA server and do some more... well, we were getting going with the Auradon storyline, weren't we?
Pretty.
And the main quest.
Yes. Yeah, we were all like loving on Lyris yesterday. Because what's not to love, right? Rylis? Lyris? Not Rylis. Bloody hell. Totally the wrong character. I think my build is pretty good. I'm enjoying the game once again, not getting myself too worried about pass humping. Yeah, it's... Pass humping is, if you want the practice to get the rotation down for the content, is definitely a good idea, but getting too sort of hung up on the numbers, yeah. Hey, Odin Cake. Hey, Mine, Khan, and gang. Hello, how you doing? And Happy New Year. And Happy Wednesday. Or Hump Day. Whatever you call that this day.
Let's just go with Wednesday.
Let's go with Wednesday, okay. Hump Day is weird, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Super weird.
I didn't come up with that, though, did I? So, hey, my dudes. It's Wednesday. Where am I stealing from and why? My PvP character is just so cheeky, always wanting to steal stuff. This one likes to steal.
Well, my gameplay should be streaming. I'm just going to turn my settings up. Actually, no, who cares, right? Nobody cares about that.
Nah. Doing good. Happy New Year and wishing you every success in 2025. Oh, thank you. And likewise, obviously, to everyone. Do people have any... No, I already asked about New Year's resolutions and we sort of all said nah.
Play more games, buy fewer games. I think that was
yeah.
that was the main one.
But does anyone have any sort of... Well, goals, I guess?
Get all 14 DPS videos out before the end of February. Ideally, much quicker than that. But yeah, it's gonna be tough because there are 14 of the fuckers, and I've got a lot of other stuff to do as well. But yeah, we really need that pop of productivity.
Yep.
Or we won't be able to eat in March. I exaggerate, but
Well, that's the thing. It is sort of make or break, I suppose. Because we
need to
love...
have an amazing year,
Yeah.
or we just can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
She was my swordsmanship.
I mean, everybody sort of comes
I'll open a portal to hasten
to
your
that
journey.
at some point. Words, I think. Sai Sahan. All right, so whilst we're watching Sai Sahan do some stuff, again weird. Let's talk about. So today is the 8th of January, and I was sort of looking at what happened on this date in the past, and I found some really, really cool stuff. So January 8th, 1942 is the birth date of Stephen Hawking, the famous British physicist and cosmologist who made groundbreaking discoveries about black holes and whose book A Brief History of Time became an international bestseller. So today would have been his birthday. It's cool, isn't it?
If people don't know about him, I thought that Theory of Everything movie, although it's told from his wife's perspective, she's sort of the main character. That was pretty great.
It actually was, yeah.
So that's a very mainstream way of accessing some of what this man was about. Sadly, no longer with us.
Yeah, because reading A Brief History of Time, that could take a while, right?
I think the universe in a nutshell is very, very easy to read and understand.
Could they?
Nothing I've ever seen. They're opening rift to oblivion.
It's a pretty cool place.
It is.
I want to redo the prologue quest for Southern Elsewhere.
What do you think?
Oh, yeah.
We get to come back here, don't we?
Yep.
I assume everything is a trap, therefore.
Do we actually come to this location? I sort of forgot that.
Yeah.
All right.
Did that guy just interrupt my unsummoning spell? He did, didn't he? Rude.
What an ass.
Looks like I'm massaging an invisible customer.
Gross.
Why is that gross?
Because it is. Massaging some random people in a dungeon or whatever's going on.
There we go. Maya just throwing shade at every masseuse out there.
Well, don't do it in public like that, in front of
your
everyone.
occupation is gross.
No, I didn't. Definitely not what I meant.
For your slander, Maya.
Wow. I have 3 goals. As if I have to pass my course. Cum laude would be nice. Cum laude, right? Yes. 2, be more mindful about my own mental health. Important one. Make way more effort to make sure the people I care for are okay. Oh, I like that. I really like that. Or again, I accidentally read that as "come, Lord." Okay, I need to just go to bed. Good luck on your course. I think we've all done that. It's okay. All right. Speaking of birthdays, there is another pretty cool dude whose birthday would have been today. So dead again, sadly. But any guesses would feel really rude, but I'm going to do it. Like, any guesses? I can give some hints.
Yeah, you're gonna have to give us some hints.
Yeah, so this person
A dead person who was born today.
sold over 1 billion records worldwide.
This person.
Yeah, whose birthday it would have been
Is
today.
it a musician?
Yes.
Or is it like a record company exec?
No. 2025 goals, 5 goals are build a new guitar, get a DPS over 100k, complete at least 5 trials on both tank and heals. Nice! Which server do you play on there? Burgonian Evolution. Michael Jackson. Zargon, good guess, good guess.
That's my first thought as well. David Bowie?
No. Shall I give the year of birth?
Yeah, go on then.
1935. Oh, Ridden Cake's got it! Elvis fucking Presley. The king of rock and roll was born on 8th of January 1935 in Tupelo, Mississippi.
Wow.
Yay! Mainly NA, but do have tunes on EU. Well, we mostly run stuff on EU. We keep trying to do stuff on NA, but we simply don't quite have enough people that sort of sign up. We do have a dedicated NA raid lead as well. So again, join our Discord. Let's go.
Please join the Discord and join the guild on NA, and maybe you will be the 12th person that finally gets us kicking off with trials. Because most of the people who are in, they've done millions of trials on the EU server. I'm exaggerating, but probably not by that much.
Elvis fucking Presley, love that, Maya. I also have goals to be taken out by a large sandwich. Are we talking food or? I have a few people going over to NA. Am I allowed to tell them to join? Of course. Bring all your friends in. Yeah, the more the merrier. Our
Yeah,
Discord is roomy.
It'll really just snowball once we get some trials going. We've had a few, but we've also had a few that have had to be cancelled.
Sag.
Yeah, because there just aren't enough peeps. Like 9 out of 12 or 8 out of 12.
Today is also David Bowie's birthday? Are you serious, Igalatia? Did I miss that? Sad I'm stuck at work. Well, it's... yeah. Is it really? Khan actually called it. He did say. So that would have been David Bowie birthday. Bowie. It is! 1947. Nice one! Well, there's one other person whose birthday is today. And they're still alive. They were born in 1969. Just saying. So, it is a very famous actor. Male. Well, that's the next hint. Is just gonna I can't even. Okay, I'm gonna try. This is not a very kind impression, but it's I didn't start it, but.
That was terrible.
I know. I tried. Well, did you?
Were you trying to do?
Yes. It's Sly. That's not bad. That's close, but it's not. It's not Joe Pesci. Okay.
Me, Joe Pesci is always. He would be furious to know this. But for me, an impression of Joe Pesci is always the waka waka waka. You know, that weird noises he makes in
All right.
Home Alone.
You can't hear it, but he knows what I'm doing. I'm just gonna play something on Twitch on stream, and you guys can hopefully tell me who that is.
Get to the chopper!
Yeah. So this actor also
My old is stronger than yours.
Annie. Yeah. Transition to a successful career in politics, yes. So it's his birthday today.
It's Elvis and Schwarzenegger have the same birthday.
Yep, and
That's pretty
David
cool.
Bowie and Stephen Hawking. Well, that sounds like that would have been a fun party, right?
Oh my god, I'm gonna die.
I've died here as well, more than I would like to admit as a baby character.
Rest in peace, honored dead.
Meow. Oh yeah, Khan is it's nearly finished, I think. Khan's making a stripy kitty, so it's actually like the TED. Oh, hydrate, thank you. Joined the Discord, then proceeded to close my entire browser. Yeah, I've done that. And a stretch. Woohoo, everyone. Take a drink and have a stretch. Tends to become even a more important date than the 25th of December. Oh my god, Khan.
But you said stretch.
You got that chat. I thought you were throwing a shade at Kim Jong-un. Sounded like Jabba the Hutt. I need to work on my impressions. I get it. PC.
You need to tighten up that Kim Jong-un impression. Right, level 46.
Do that. Is it also his birthday? All right. Gee. 8th of January was... So, hang on. When will they have been conceived? I'm just sort of thinking, were the parents really bored around that time, or...
Around Easter time, I guess.
New life and all that? Yeah, I suppose. Celebrating life and death and all that stuff, right?
Springtime.
Yeah. So everything wakes up, including the hormones, apparently. Woohoo! But yeah, I bet that having birthday on 8th of January sucks. I saw an interview with, what's her name? Pugh?
Florence Pugh.
Pugh, yeah, it's pronounced Pugh, right? Florence Pugh. And I think her birthday is like on the 3rd or 4th. She was saying, I hated it because when you're a kid, everybody's like, well, we already did presents. So, and when you grow up, nobody wants to go out. Nobody has any money. Nobody wants to drink. Nobody wants to have anything interesting to eat. Everybody's just like, oh, I'm just going to have my salad and water.
Yeah, it's some bullshit. I already have a little time for Florence Pugh because we saw The Falling by Carol Morley, which was like her first role, and then she did Lady Macbeth, right? And then what was the thing she did after that, which is like her big? That's when everyone suddenly heard of her.
I watched a few movies that were on like
She's so great.
Netflix and shit, and yeah, they were good. Like, she was good. She's just really, what's the word I'm looking for? Flexible? Versatile. Sorry.
Mercurial? Yeah, versatile, yeah. Flexible, definitely different connotations.
Mine's the 30th of December. Oh, Mark, your birthday's on... Oh, was it fun as a teenager being drunk from Christmas Eve to after New Year's Eve? Oh, I suppose, yeah, New Year's Day. My sister's birthday is November 2nd, so she ended up with many black sweaters and plush black cats for presents as she was growing up. Oh, I see. Nice.
How did you find this place?
Well, as long as people find some fun in it and whatnot, but yeah.
Hey, Sai, what's up?
No.
It's some rudimentary animation. It's quite effective if you don't like zoom in too much.
To betray Molag Bal.
He's just running.
It's a pretty nasty looking effect. Like,
All right, let's have a look at another thing that's happened on this day. Back in 1975, the day when Ella Grasso became the first woman to be elected governor of a U.S. state, it's Connecticut, without having a husband who previously held the position. That's 1975.
that was the first time that it happened.
Apparently.
That's kind of wild.
I know,
yeah.
right? Where in the Discord are you reading chats and questions from? It's Twitch. But if you want to ask any sort of questions on Discord, we have a PvE, PvP sort of question section, and you can either tag me, Maya, or Khan, or PvE Senpai. Those are sort of our trusted veterans that we know will offer good advice. Poor Sai. I was like, no, when this happened the first time I was here. Yeah, right? No, what's happening? Poor Sai. Are you excited for the new dungeon preview tomorrow? Hell yeah. Yes. Love me some dungeons. Bring it.
Yeah, I'm actually full on excited about this.
Are you excited?
Yeah, it's like the main thing that we get excited about. Yeah, so obviously when new trial is coming, new systems. Oh, that's that. There's no need to do that bonus thing. Unless anyone wants to see. Does anyone want to see the bonus boss down here?
Nah.
No?
Nah.
You sure?
Yes.
Have you asked them?
Yes, I know.
Alright. Maya knows her chat.
Meh.
Yeah, dungeons are like the main thing.
No spoilers. You mean for the dungeons? So, like, you don't want to see PTS kind of thing? I'm guessing PTS will drop maybe on Monday. That usually happens. That'll be kind of wild.
Don't understand, do you? My plan
I'm always sort of surprised. Oh, PTS is here. Oh, shocker.
it will prevent Molag Bal from observing or interfering.
I am just hoping there aren't too many drastic changes to the combat system. Otherwise, I might have to just stop doing the DPS guides.
Naive child.
Because
You know nothing.
it's silly to do them if we know that in 5 weeks it's all going to change.
He's the most
So yeah, I think there are a couple of classes I'd like to see tweaked.
with the amulet in my possession.
I want them to get rid of that shadowy disguise thing from Nightblade, for example. It's the least interesting way to increase class power. Or here's an ability which you have to up. It does nothing, but as long as you fire it every X number of seconds, you will have more damage. I really don't love it.
Be forgotten. In time, all of Tamriel will bow down before me. Soon, the god of schemes will have a new name. Manimbarker.
You're right there, Maya. You've gone awfully quiet.
Yeah, I was just responding. I was just looking. Grovex was saying, on Discord, very nice about the Arcanist. Didn't think that the gap was actually that close. Yeah. Link add to the video or website the pass you reach with using different gear settings. I mean, that's in the video, right? You actually show a CMX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the question?
I get. It's not a question. It's saying, and I think it's like suggestion. So yeah, I was just checking that is. I'm not crazy, right? That's in the video.
Oh right, yeah.
Like separate ones.
CMX that you can click on
Yeah.
in the description.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't be bothered with that.
Nah.
Just pause the video.
Yeah.
Why do I always do that? I always leave the instance here.
I'm excited. I do hope we have a trial too. Well, the trial obviously won't be announced. I don't think that's going to be announced yet.
That'll be announced in April.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, at some
there's
point.
a chance they'll announce some stuff. Frankly, I feel like they should. And I think they know this. Zos, I mean. I think they realize that there's more uncertainty and more pessimism not amongst everyone. We talked about this yesterday. Some people are quite chill about it, quite intrigued. But there is definitely some pessimism or skepticism and a little bit of despair amongst the more panic-prone pockets of the community. A lot of P's in that sentence. So yeah, they should definitely try to give us a little bit more about this seasonal model, what it's going to mean. They can't give us many specifics, I totally understand that, but I'm hoping to see something. Just a little more on... For example, are we getting 3 seasons this year? Is it just going to be 2? Because they must know that. When's the first 6-month season that we're getting? I think that'll be the big test for some people. So we're going to miss a quarterly update at some point.
Yeah,
because there'll be
exactly, yeah.
a season that lasts 6 months long.
Understand what to do. Sounds sounds like a valid point. Do things like that really impact your content plans? I can imagine big changes can be frustrating for the guide creators. Tips hat to Khan for his hard work.
Yeah, they absolutely do. It drives me crazy.
Yeah.
And it always comes at the worst possible moment. And also, so often there's something on PTS which appears to be really strong, but it turns out it's just overpowered. So you're in two minds. Do I make a bunch of videos about how to use this, and then they nerf it just before it goes live? I completely sympathize. It's difficult to... You can't fix these things in advance. That's the very reason why you have QA. It's why you have PTS. It's why you have all of these stages before a live service game update goes live. Because then it's kind of too late. You don't want to have to fix things after they go live.
Yeah.
Sometimes have to do that as well. But much better for it to be fixed during PTS or something like that.
I tried my first random vet dungeon, and it went as well as you can expect. Oh, I just that unless I know the 3 people I'm with, I wouldn't do that. It's too scary. I'm hoping April for trial, and yes, I think everyone on tenterhooks. Yeah,
They're revealing it in April. That much we know. There will be a live stream.
there
in
will be a
April.
big reveal. Yeah, so like
Yeah.
the global reveal that will be in April. Yeah, yeah.
But in a lot of ways, that makes way more sense. The only reason it makes sense for all of us oh, we want to hear about the trial and the chapter now, is because that's what they've done in previous years. But actually,
I mean, we had like a picture that we
it's quite a long
assumed.
time. You had a picture of what? Sorry?
Well, with the trial, we got a picture that, like a screenshot that we assumed was the trial back in January, but we were not sure. So actually, we never got like what's
No,
the
that's
trial.
true, but we know
yeah.
that the trial is coming.
Yeah.
And actually, the website did get updated, if you remember, with
I did, yeah, sort of sneakily.
there was that Lucent Citadel. We knew the name, we didn't know much else, and we had a screenshot. That was it.
Yeah. Shall
Whereas
we? Shall
tomorrow,
we?
It's
Sorry.
going to be primarily dungeon stuff.
Combat Yapper. I will get to your question right away. In 1 second. Should we do a little teaser, Khan? For
a teaser.
Well, for what was sort of discussed and. Hello. Thanks for the follow and confirmed today.
Tease away, Maya. Let's do it.
So we've been saying this for a few months now, but things sort of kept being pushed back. If you guys were here, if you remember, that was this amazing Arc Live raid train back in the end December 2023. You had to remember where we were. So I organized that. Khan created all the incredible. There was GIFs, there was emos, there was just amazing stuff that actually it pops up on a lot of streamers, like top used emojis of like the year. Isn't that amazing? So this was amazing raid train that I just said to Gina, hey, I have an idea. She's like, I like it, let's go. So that's basically what happened. And we had like a couple of weeks to put it together, 100 people taking part. Like it was freaking epic. It was over 20 days of continuous streams. If you guys are not sure what a raid train is, at the end of a streamer raids off, right? And you keep going, and it's sort of pre-agreed time slots. So
you have a single audience
Yep.
for like a month or weeks of continuous streaming.
And we did-
People leave it running and go to sleep, or they tune in and come and tune out and come back.
And yeah, so we've been talking about doing another one for a while, but yeah, obviously also
8 months.
I think
it's
so.
been?
Yeah, I mean, we said back in January, Gina and I were like, let's do that again. That was great. So, but yeah, lots of stuff obviously happening. But yes, we've got a confirmation today that we're definitely going to go ahead with that. It's going to be bigger and better than what we did a couple of years ago, or well, just over a year ago. We're going to have some devs involved as well. It's going to be freaking epic, guys. We don't have a date yet. We're just confirming last few little things, but it's sounding pretty amazing. I've reached out to some of the streamers that took part last time, like, hey guys, be ready for this. It's going to be fun. So yeah, super duper excited about that one.
We got a big raid train coming. It's going
Yeah.
to be part of ESO's 10th anniversary, and the devs are actually going to, like, several of them are going to take part, and they're going to be on stream with you guys, talking to you about the last 10 years. I just want to state how amazing this is that Maya's put this together. And it's not an event organized by ZOS. They're very much going to back
Supporting, yeah.
it. It is going to be a Ninja Pulse thing, featuring loads of other streamers that you know and love, some of which you may not know yet, but who you will love
Exactly.
shortly after getting to know them. Is just as what happened last year.
Yep.
Loads of us made new friends amongst the community, streamers meeting one another for the first time and like hanging out in each other's channels, and yeah, so many lovely connections were made. Honestly, when I went to Amsterdam for the big event back in April, for the first couple of days, I was introducing myself as I'm Maya's husband. The one who did the raid train. And everyone was like, oh, we love Maya. She's the best. Where is she? Where is she? I was like, she needs to renew her passport still. Because the Czech consulate here in the UK is being... Yeah, and like the disappointment was palpable. But also the affection for you and for Ninja Pulse because of that event. And this is only going to be better than last time.
We've got a
It's
lot
gonna
more
be huge.
plans to not only to involve streamers, but also the community do a lot of stuff. So I'll be making a few announcements over the next couple of weeks. So yeah, definitely, if you're not on our Discord, join, because there will be ways for you to get involved as well, because that was sort of the goal, having more time to make it much more community-based. So yeah. I think I saw your raid on PTS last year to check out Lucen. Will there be any plans to do PTS this year? Yeah, 100%. If we can get the people, yes. Like if dungeons come out next week, whenever.
Yeah, we managed the people last year,
Yeah.
so
We also managed to get banned from playing the game. But anyway, back to Combat Yapper. Which is better for solo play between Stamplar and Stamden?
Ooh.
Well, while you're thinking about that, Acid Face, yeah, we can get involved too. That is exciting. Yes, I've got several ways for everyone to be involved in this. So,
Yeah, the whole point is that it's an online party.
Yeah, for everyone.
And
you're all
leave and come
invited!
back. Yeah, you will get like a stamp on your hand at the beginning, so you can leave and re-enter whenever you like. It's going to be awesome.
Wow, that was delayed, the kitty. Although you had to do it again. Yeah, what's been going on with the sound? Like, sound didn't work. Some of the alerts for like half an hour yesterday, and then they just kicked in.
My instinct is to say Warden, Stamden for the solo play thing. Honestly, your affinity for the class, as in how much you enjoy it and how well you play it, they're going to be the determining factors here. But absent any insight into any of that, all I can say is I feel like Stamden, the Warden has that. Why am I going the wrong way? The Warden has that toolkit. You know, you'll give yourself minor toughness. You got a little bit of off heals passively. Obviously, the Templar has quite a bit as well. It's got that lovely execute, which will allow you to skip some stuff probably. Once the enemies get to a certain level, you can just chill, fire the beam, and they are toast.
Ooh, toast with jam? Cup of tea?
But my instinct would be Stamden.
Interesting. Well, there we go. Oh, you spelled it incorrectly. See, I didn't even see that. I want a moo command. Yeah. Well, we have we'll stop for beer always putting woof, so we should. But then we'd have 3 animals, and then it gets too silly on the screen, right? And then just cacophonous meow, woof.
Last time I was here, this didn't work. Hey, it does today.
All right, so what? This one is a fun one. So, British inventor and polymath Charles Babbage, known as the father of the computer, filed the first patent for his analytical engine on January 8th, 1834. Let that sink in.
Oh no! He teleports? I forgot about that.
Charles Babbage. Anyway, the analytical engine was a mechanical computer designed to process mathematical calculations. 1834. That's crazy, right? And Combat Yapper saying, thank you. No? Cool. I thought that was cool.
That's pretty wild. Like a calculator, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, you did this quite recently as well on another character. Who was it? When was it? Where was it?
My Arcanist on the EU server.
Ah, yeah.
And again, as I said then, watch the floor. Because they removed this floor and replaced it.
I love it.
And watch their feet as well. Lyris and Sai. The floor's going to change.
It will pave your arrogance.
Yeah, then they have to fall down.
Ah, no, they're floating. They're floating.
See that?
That's funny.
It turns into like a crater because of Molag.
Zarkon is saying that is a long time ago for such a device, right? I sort of, when I was writing that, I had to sort of double take. There is 18 something, not 19. In Combat Yapper, Stamden was my first character. To 50 back on Xbox. I moved to PC a year ago, but never made one. Ooh. This is actually impressive. Thinking computer started 18 something, right, Acid Face? It's cool, these kind of facts. I like looking at these kind of things.
When you think how long it took for them to make it into the home. When did personal computers really become a thing? I think the super rich, maybe in the 60s, but it wasn't until the 70s where people had the very first consoles and word processors and stuff like that.
Yep.
Consoles that would run one game, you know, like Pong on your TV.
Pong. All right, so this, speaking of... Oh, Combat Yapper subscribed. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Keep yapping, especially if it's about combat. We love that. Love that shit.
Okay, speaking of technology.
This is full of fun facts today, right, Maya?
Yeah.
I like this.
Another year's resolution is to cut down on my smoking. Ted Meister, that can't be easy, right? That's a tough one. Well, good luck with that. And I like that you're saying cut down rather than just quit. You know, eventually, maybe. But yeah, cut down. That's sort of, you know, it's got to fit with your lifestyle. It's got to, like, you can't feel shit if you cut something out. That's why, like, when people just, unless for health reasons, you know, you have to absolutely stop certain things. But if it's just, I'd like to cut down a little bit or do less of, just start small. So, yeah, so many friends, they always give up booze in January because they think they should. And then they're just miserable in January. It's like, I'm cold and I want a drink. It's like, oh my God, just have a glass. Like, it's okay. I'm not going to tell anyone that you broke dry January. But anyway, lots of yapping mid-combat to best motivator and distraction. Either or, yeah. Well, I meant to do that today, but I forgot. There is Raven's Lord did this amazing scare. So I had these scares during our Halloween stream, and he used this. It literally was called Scare Maya, and there's this noise. And of course, he just timed it perfectly in a hard mode Scrivener's Hall, the last boss. And of course, I died to it because I burst out laughing. I thought, yeah, so I need to make sure that clip is back. Can I go off and make a new character? Different class? Yes. Cold turkey is the only way, honestly. I had to quit before they would do the surgery on my neck. It was hell for the first 2 weeks, but got easier pretty quick after that. Oh, 100%. That's what I mean. Like, if you have to quit something, then just do it properly. Yeah, absolutely. But I just mean, you know, when people just think, I should do less of this, or, you know, I got into the habit of, like, having several drinks every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. For health reasons, there is no need to cut it out or anything like that. It's just do less.
Hey, look, my Dwemer guy is sneaking.
Yeah, I'm absolutely not giving any advice on on anything like that, but
Isn't that cute?
that is really cute.
I've literally never noticed that before.
But I think we sort of spoke about that a few times, that, you know, New Year's resolutions, people break them because they get carried away. Like, I'll do gym every single day, starting January. Even if they've never done, you know, they hadn't done gin? Gin?
I'll do gin every single day.
Yeah.
I will manage.
I mean, I love it. A lot of, you know, I have some friends who've made that sort of change. They're like, no, I have to do this for me, for my health. I've had enough. And they go every day. And it's like, wow, that's incredible. But I think for a lot of people, especially if they just are busy, whatever it might be, and failing and then just giving up. I mean, you guys are the judges, obviously. You know how you like to do things. But I think a lot of us have said I prefer doing smaller changes.
What was
and then
the
build
fact
on that.
you teased us with a minute ago?
Oh, sorry. So
That's
January
all right.
8th,
I'm just curious.
2007, saw the introduction of Apple's first ever iPhone by Steve Jobs during Apple's Macworld keynote. The iPhone revolutionized the smartphone industry and laid the groundwork for modern smartphones the way we use today. That we use today. Yeah?
That is pretty cool.
Swapping vape for cigs is not the solution. Yeah, my friend did that, and now she's like, I'm trying to quit vaping, and it's still not how we know where Maya's mind is. I know, that was unfortunate. The famous IBM quote regarding personal computers is attributed to Thomas J. Watson, who is said to have stated, I think there is a world market for maybe 5 computers, highlighting a significant underestimation of the potential market for personal computers at the time. Still one of my favorite technology fails. Yeah, right?
Yeah, great. But I think that's so typical of like an engineer's perspective, because they are delighted by the technology, but won't always see, if they don't have that background and that sort of worldview, it's harder. It's hard to be someone like a Steve Jobs. You know,
I am Steve Jobs.
These people are ones that they can see the same information as everyone else, but they connect them in ways that other people don't.
Yeah.
That's how often like the pop way of defining genius is done. Obviously, that's bollocks. It's never that simple, but
yeah. I can
It's
gin
a good
every day
definition
too,
of
Maya. Okay.
yeah, exactly.
iPhone guiding the path for surveillance for decades, yeah. Huh. Well, it's interesting putting these things into perspective. But yeah, this one is a fun one. So in January, on January 8th, shocker there, right? 1994, Russian cosmonaut Valery Polyakov began his 437-day stay aboard the Mir space station, setting the record for the longest continuous human presence in space. That's well over a year.
Yeah, that's nuts. How tall was he when he came back?
Gee, yeah, that's a really good point.
Because doesn't your spine gradually decompress?
Yeah.
So you get like inches taller. And then you shrink back down when you come back to Earth.
Yeah, that's got to be so weird. You're like, yes, I'm taller than everyone. Not anymore.
Man, I have to write to Skywatch?
Man.
This is bullshit.
All right, so another fun fact, sort of scientific.
We'll be the judge of that.
Galileo Galilei, the famed Italian astronomer and physicist, discovered Jupiter's 4 largest moons on January 8th, 1610. And the moons were eventually named after him as Galilean satellites. 1610.
Does that mean it was astronomer Massa Secunda that did the same thing in Tamriel?
Yes,
No? Bit of a slow reaction there.
I was drinking.
Yes.
That must have been one hell of a gravity adjustment when he came back, yeah. That's massive bone density loss. Wonder if his legs broke the first time he stood up back on Earth. Wow, yeah. Well, they didn't worry about such things, like sending Laika, the dog, into space with no provisions made for her for her return at all. So she was just left up there. That just breaks my heart.
Yeah, that's a tough thing to do.
And the photos, she just looks so, I wouldn't say happy because she's in a spaceship, but sort of, I'm an obedient doggy, and it just, yeah, no.
Let's not actually go there. That's
No.
really upsetting.
I know, right?
Obviously, sacrifices do sometimes have to happen for progress, but
Yeah. Well, speaking of progress and space,
why not just get someone who is happy to, who would agree to do it? Oh, hang on, I'm going the wrong way.
yeah. So, January 8th, this is the last one, 2003, marks the day when the Mars rover Spirit, part of NASA's Mars exploration rover mission, landed on Mars. The rover explored the red planet for 6 years, sending valuable information back to Earth about Mars's geology and history. How cool is that? Today as well.
That's amazing. I'll tell you what, with all these milestones being listed, it is kind of crazy that we put the announcement of the iPhone, right? And of course, it does belong there as the first properly mainstream smartphone. In a lot
Yeah,
of
oh
ways,
yeah.
But at the time, you'd be hard-pressed to make the call that, this will be remembered as an absolutely seminal moment in the evolution of our technological advancement.
Yeah.
It just seemed like a cool new toy, really, at the time, didn't it?
No, that is absolutely true, yeah. Yep. But yeah, I thought, still, fun facts, right?
Very cool, Maya, thank you.
You're welcome. I did it. But it also...
So we gotta go,
what?
we gotta go and see Emmerich and Jorun now.
Oh, yeah.
Man with no lines.
There's something, like, it's fun to sort of look at, so what happened on this day in the past? And that's fun, but then also, what have I done today? I had a shower. I had breakfast. I like to hear the fun facts. Awesome. Thanks, Archon. Like, I actually find it quite fascinating. You can buy, like, a card for somebody's birthday that, has the year that they were born and what other things happened. Stuff like that. I had to go to work. Imagine. Oh, hey, Matt. How's it going? I mean, it is Wednesday, my dudes, so yeah, I get it. Midweek. Hi, King Emmerich. I like his crown. Oh, you're home now. That's a nice early finish. Right? Was it for you four? Right?
You asking me? What was the
No,
question?
no. I'm asking Matt. I think it
I was
is.
gonna say.
Tell Cariel that I hope to
I'd
drop
mad.
in for a visit very soon. From an upper story.
Unfortunately, this is an AD character, so we won't get to hear that funny line from Raz. Raz, inappropriate.
Yeah.
This one has no regrets.
I'm gonna mingle their heads right off their necks one of these days.
You make some joke about banging Naryu or something like
Yep.
that.
Mm-hmm. The iPhone was a revolutionary device because it shifted focus from only hardware-focused phones to a device with computational power where software and hardware emulsifies. Ooh. It is definitely a fact that belongs on the list. There you go, Acid Face. Thanks.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah. Fully agree.
Yeah. But it is sort of funny. Galileo Galilei discovering planets and, well, moons, but yeah. Yeah, always home on Wednesday afternoons. Nice. Well, that's cool. That is a beautiful load screen. I like.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I'd like to have that on my wallsies.
Where exactly are we? That's the thing, because look, there's nowhere really in Mournhold where this makes sense, and I don't appear anywhere here. So is it just one of those weird? Let's see if we can figure it out. Can we see the temple anywhere? Well, that is the okay. So yeah, we're here. We're in the Fighters Guild. Yeah.
My companion hopes to speak with you about the impending Cold Harbor crisis.
Wait.
I'm just trying to. Yeah. So yeah, this is the area which is normally inaccessible, right? And which randomly
see, yeah.
sticks out of the city wall. I always found that strange. That the city wall is like beautifully going around, and then bonk, there's this cutout section. So that's where we are. So we can just about see the temple if we go all the way over here. That seems weird. You should really have the temple more visible in the background.
Yep.
There's a lot about the Evanhart Pact storyline that just never made sense to me. We talked about this before, how Yoren is so little featured in his name is everywhere. You hear about him very early on, but pretty much as soon as you meet him, he's struck down with poison, and then you get to talk to his dream self, and I won't spoil, but yeah, it's odd, isn't it? And there's some theories about they weren't thrilled with maybe things didn't go too great with the voice actor, or he didn't want to come back after his initial recording session, because since then they've brought his son, Prince Ernskar, more and more into the foreground, to the point where in High Isle, the three alliance leaders that show up are High King Emmerich, Queen Irene, and Prince Ernskar, not the Skald King. He's not
Oh,
even
right,
there.
right.
Yeah, it's just I don't have any information on it. It's just weird.
Yeah, I was sort of like, hang on, who's this
The other two
young'un?
monarchs are so prominently featured and such memorable characters. For some reason, this guy, sort of lays back in the cut.
He's not a famous actor either, so...
He is quite. He was in The Big Lebowski.
Yeah, but he's not Cade Beckinsale, though, famous. Like, cool
no.
and pretty.
I knew who he was immediately
Yeah, no.
when they announced the name. I was like, he's the nasty husband in Chocolat, and he's like
That's
the
it, yeah.
deserting soldier in A Very Long Engagement, and obviously the German in what's his name, Uli Kunku or something in The Big
Something
Lebowski.
weird, yeah.
We fucks you up. We takes the money.
He takes where's the money, Lebowski?
Where's the money, Lebowski? We want the money, Lebowski.
Didn't the Skald King voice actor pass away? No,
Peter Stormare, I think, is still about.
I think he is, yeah. Oh, you need to do some studying, Acid Phase. Have fun. And thanks for hanging out.
Nope, he's 71.
He's not
Very
dead
much.
yet.
Very much alive and kicking. It still looks amazing. Wow.
Varnus Scalarian. Every time I see Varnus, I just sort of see the name with that.
Aegis.
Yeah.
The word has been given.
I just can't help it.
A moment, please.
A moment, please.
I'll wait for you on the other
All right. Portal to Sturk. Sturk.
Sturk. And where exactly is Sturk? I always forget. It's quite. Is it near Hammerfell?
It's next to Kirk. Just south of Kirk. No. I'll stop.
Oh, so it's near the
Oh.
Gold Coast.
Yeah. What are they doing there?
It's not a million miles from Hammerfell, but yeah. There's a sea monster, Maya. Look.
If that was real, like that's the size of Gold Coast. That would be
It's the
terrifying.
scale, yeah.
Go.
How am I doing? I got 30 skill points now. In fact, I should check. Sorry, this is not very good content. A man selects a plus symbol and clicks on it.
I mean, you do it with such.
I make it look good, right?
Yeah. I was trying to find the words. I'm just so stunned. I can't even do that.
Yeah, I'm like Will Smith in Men in Black.
Exactly.
What was it? You know the difference between you and me? I'll make this look good. And he does, to be fair.
Yeah, I kind of want to rewatch
the
the
man
first
his
movie. It's been a while. I don't think.
I haven't seen it since I was a kid. Was it good? I remember it being pretty good.
I think it was fun and kind of different, right? The second one was and pretty
remember
sure
there
there's a
being a
third one, right?
There's a sort of a twisty moment where they discover what Orion's belt was referring to
Yeah.
all along, and that's stupid.
Yeah.
'Cause it's not a belt.
No, it's
But yeah, I
not.
wouldn't say anymore.
Decide our difference
I remember that's like the main thing I remember.
is doomed from the start.
How do we know this?
These guys are so rubbish. They just can't agree on anything.
Hurt our forces while you're
They're just proud and selfish, and
But it's a pretty accurate depiction of like how national politicians who have to serve the national interest end up
yeah, I
behaving.
suppose you're not wrong. No.
I will not wager the future of
I feel like anyone who's been to a COP summit would like recognize this with a great degree of grief.
Is it okay I skip the tutorial, or have I missed some story stuff? I mean, you've done the tutorial before, right? Like you've made characters before. The tutorial changed, I suppose, fairly recently. So if you haven't done it,
what a mess. Apologies.
The tutorial is now not a separate thing. It is part
Yeah.
of the main story, which was always to start the main story, which I'm now doing. I'm sort of close to the conclusion of the main story. You talk to someone who, you know, through a bizarre series of connections, sends you to Cold Harbor, where Manimarco kills you and takes your soul. That's what starts the whole story off. Then you escape Cold Harbor with Lyris, and yeah, that's it. So if you've done that part of the story before, no, you haven't missed anything except for the slight changes they have made to the tutorial in the last update, which are fairly minor. They've done a better job of teaching people how sneaking works. It's all optional, you can just breeze through it. But it's definitely better. I think that's there's so much in this game that actually it's a little bit crazy for a new player who comes in and wants to, you know, they've probably got their eye on, I don't know, the trials or the latest story content or something like that. It's like, well, there's so much more for me to get through. Where the hell do I start? So they've made that a little bit easier to understand.
hey Rosie, thanks for
someone-
the hug. Sorry.
But for someone who's already playing the game and has
Yeah.
done for a while, that's all right, man. Sorry, I don't think there's anything in the tutorial which is like,
Oh no,
groundbreaking.
no, you've ruined the experience for yourself. Yeah, you'll be good.
He has arrived. I can't.
I can't.
What's happening?
What is it you can't face?
Run!
Yeah, what movie is that from?
The Sound of Music.
It is The Sound of Music.
Yeah.
I've only seen that movie once. But yeah, there's a very famous moment in it where is it the Mother Superior
Yep.
at the nunnery who asks a character, "What is it you can't face?" But it's very famous.
She cuts
'cause
it very
says,
short.
"What is it you can't face?"
What is it you
It
can't
sounds
face?
like-
Yeah, it's
Sounds like she says something else.
yeah.
Fight me, Molag. Let's go.
Doing all the dungeon quests at the moment. Yeah, those are fun. Hi, how's I can't speak today. How's you all doing? Yeah, we're good. Just enjoying some. Well, guess what? ESO. Heard of it? How you doing? Need to find some friends to do vet stuff with. Yes. Well, use the Discord. I can't make any promises, but people
I don't
do.
think I need
People
3
do make
cuts.
connections, and create groups and whatnot. So yeah. Unstable rift. Khan,
It's an
you closed
unstable
it.
rift, Maya.
What?
It's an unstable rift, Maya.
You're an I can't. I won't.
What is it you can't face?
I
Or did I walk away? Whoops. Evidently, you can't do that.
Oh no.
I'm boring. Why am I going the long way around?
I'm good leveling my Arcanist. I thought it said living my Arcanist. I was like, oh, you must be really loving it. Leveling. Got it. How is that going? Is that Oh, they announced a new morphing collectible.
Oh, that's been announced.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's take a moment to.
Yes,
to look
boss.
into it.
Ooh.
Where's this?
Well, it was on Discord in the news. So it might not be on the website yet. Do you want me to just flip and...
Yeah, let's have a look.
I'll flipsies. Okay. Where is the news section? So that's...
They don't normally announce this yet, do they?
Well, things are just being a bit different. Done differently, right?
Yeah.
So let's have a look. Whoa, that's... Okay.
I think you can zoom out a little bit there.
Yeah, I think so. I was zoomed in on the picture yesterday. All right, so may Juliana's favor you with the new 2025 Morphing Collectible.
That's cool.
Ooh, show your devotion to the divine Julianos, but I don't want to show devotion. With this year's Morphing Collectible, the Stone Wisp of Truth and Law. So that's obviously an enchanting, extracting enchantments things. What she's doing there. Julianos,
like,
the divine of wisdom and logic, is a patron of scholars. Throughout Tamriel in 2025, you can exchange your event tickets to show devotion to his teachings with a new Morphing Collectible, the Stone Wisp of Truth and Law. Morphing collectibles can take many forms over the course of a year. Ooh! If you're unfamiliar with how they work, you can read more about them in this guide. Okay, we'll have a look at that in a sec. Oh, that's cool. Makes other stone wisps look positively foolish.
That is not a new guide, by the way, so you don't have to look at it.
Oh, okay.
It's just an old article from last year.
Okay. As in the past years, you'll need to collect 3 different fragments to summon this specific collectible. Yeah, cool. These 3 fragments will be available for purchase with event tickets during each of 2025's major in-game events. Oh, so that's throughout the year. So they... okay. Visit the Impresario, yeah, cool. There's a Morphing Collectible, the Stone Wisp of Truth and Law, can also be combined with other fragments to summon a different collectible event reward each quarter this year. Okay, there we go. Starting with a Logical Rune Extraction. Logical Rune Extraction? That's funny. It's only logical to... It's only logical to stock up on runes. I don't know what this... So this is the base thing, right?
The base morph, what is it? Logical Rune Extraction is going to be the first morph of it.
Yeah, I don't know.
What is the base morph? It's got to be a pet, right?
Looks like it, yeah.
Maybe a memento?
It's cute though, whatever that is. It looks fun. The geometrical things, that's not new things, sort of. The shapes.
We've already had a random armor pack that had that sort of all those visuals, but it didn't really jive with anything that was already in the game, so it's kind of weird.
It's not bad, but playing Arcanist definitely feels strange to me. Why is that? It's just because of the beam. Yeah, I can imagine that. Yeah, it is sort of weird that when I was like, I should be pressing something. This is weird. I don't like it.
Yeah, it is very strange. It takes a while to get used to it. The one thing I can say definitely about it, which is great, is that it gives you that much more thinking time,
Honored leader,
which can be really valuable.
face of our enemy.
But in places where you don't really need it, it runs the risk of being a bit boring.
The Mages Guild and the Fighters
That's what a lot of players say who don't love Arcanists. They're like, well, I get a bit bored.
Yeah. Yeah, the beam makes me feel stuck on an animation. Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
The guilds are our best and only choice. Send them to Khan.
Failure to complete, Khan. What was that in reference to? I missed that. Sorry.
It appears
Failure to complete.
between our alliances was so
Yep.
Yeah, well, that'll be when I was closing the rift. but,
Right,
like,
right, right. Yeah.
messing around.
deception and chaos. But if you'll forgive
Not necessarily that I minded, but it feels weird. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, yeah. Not closing the rift. Yeah, sorry. Got it. No, Khan's got issues. He's running in circles. No, what are we going to do?
the time has come, champion.
The time has come. Alright, let's do a little ESO quiz. Who's down? Well,
Oh, like
Elder
a quiz
Scrolls.
yeah, I know the one. You telling me about this. Alright, so guys, how much do you know about the development of this game?
Yep,
And our protector
Let's find out.
yep.
Yeah, let's do it. Given
Alright,
this the 10th anniversary is still going on, and we're about to have way more, anniversary nonsense coming our way in the early part of this year.
yes. Alright, so when did development start on ESO? Feel free to just pop those dates in, like if you know the year. But I will give options as well. So was it 2014? 2011? Or 2007? Ooh, when did development start on ESO? Yeah, there's a guess for 2007. Cadwell is just awesome. Rosie, 2014. Sir Cadwell, yes. Khan, do you know?
I do, yeah. I think I do.
Nah. Why don't you reveal it?
I'm pretty sure it's 2007. It's earlier than we always think.
Yeah, because 2014 it actually launched, so hence the 10 years. But it was in development for a very long time before. It's crazy, isn't it? That's 7 years.
Yeah, so when Skyrim launched and they suddenly had to change the whole game, that was a big deal. It had already been in development for 4 years. And they thought they were getting close-ish to release.
Yeah.
I remember Matt Fyro at Amsterdam doing his keynote, and he showed that famous promo image of the Nord standing in the snow with the camera like a god shot from above, and he's looking up at the camera and doing a shout. Mouth wide open and arms out to the side. You guys remember that shot? That promo image?
Oh, yeah.
Matt Fyro said, this is basically what I was doing when Skyrim came out. Because we realized it was so much bigger than Oblivion. It was quite different to Oblivion. It was so much more successful. People were going to expect it to be like that and not like Oblivion. So we had to change some things. And they changed quite a lot about how the game worked based on that.
Yeah, Rosie, I've done that as well. So it's 2014, of course. Because that date is sort of so ingrained, right? Oh, the groundskeeper. Can you hear the dog dreaming and barking in her dream?
I can, yeah.
No, that's so cute when they sort of do. It basically sounds like they're bubbling, like underwater. These sort of cute little noises.
Should we just abandon this and
And what?
I don't need to do this now. This is kind of long-winded, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. Do whatever rocks your boat. Hey, you're level 47. You're nearly there.
You're getting there.
Yeah, that's nice.
Just a reminder, guys, if you don't have... only have one level 50 character on the NA server. I've only needed one for the longest time. But I thought I should start making an Arcanist, and then this happened. You need 2 different classes, both at level 50, to get that one for free. And I thought, hey, may as well. It's free.
It's free! Yeah. Alright. So I can't already mention it that ESO's release date was delayed. Was it delayed to add more zones to the base game? To add voice acting throughout the game? To redesign the areas depicted in Skyrim?
Ooh.
Ooh!
But it was delayed. Yeah?
It was delayed, yes. It's not a trick question. It's not like yesterday.
I can't even remember where we were. Auridon, that was it. Sorry, guys. Getting back to story time in Auridon. Storidon. I just remember a lot of nonsense around Queen Irene here.
Hey, Pooring TCAD, not a new player, just popping in to say hi, hello. There's no pressure whether people new or veterans. We welcome anyone and everyone. So, hello and welcome in, and thank you so much for stopping by.
Frankly, we've probably got more to teach people who aren't new. Obviously, we've got more to teach people who are completely new. But the guild is kind of geared up to help people who already know the ropes. And who are starting to get ambitious. Volkilgard, they did such a nice job with Volkilgard. I know we were admiring it just yesterday.
All right, so any guesses from anyone? So ESO release date was delayed. Was it to add more zones, voice acting, or redesign areas depicted in Skyrim? What do we think? No guesses?
I'm pretty sure it was the voice acting, but it could be any of the above.
It could be, yeah.
But they're all like plausible, aren't they?
Yeah, there's a guess to redesign. Yeah, it is Skyrim. Okay, there are a couple of those. Actually, the main thing is the voice acting, because it was not gonna have the like fully voiced everything initially. But yeah, somebody was like, no, we need to add it. It's going to future-proof the game. It's going to be massive. Imagine ESO without voice acting. Like,
yeah, it's hard to conceive of that, isn't it, now?
I mean, there are some we could have perhaps done without. Like, you know how long I've been looking for you. But no, it's beautiful.
Incineration beetles! You know that thing. Impossible! How did you win?
Exactly.
But then again, then we would miss
It
out
would be
on
really
gems.
quiet.
Then we would miss out on gems like Atavar. Where
Where
are
are
you?
you? Yeah, exactly.
Where's the stable?
But
in
yeah, I
Volkilgard?
just
There we
feel
go.
like that's a really amazing.
Yeah, whoever had that foresight to lobby for that change. No, we need to delay the release
Yeah.
of this enormous project, add a huge amount of expense to it.
Somebody invited you to join a guild.
I'll join.
Yeah.
Why the hell not? Let's have a look. That's a pretty big guild. 413 people.
Nice. Just inviting randos. That's so funny.
That's really strange. Why am I hiding offline as well? That's odd. What was I doing on the NA server? Whatever.
Hopefully in Microsoft's infinite gaming wisdom, they don't swap storylines to feature film-level cutscenes over the voice actors. I mean, you still have voice actors in those, right? So, but yeah,
Cutscenes in games are really tough, aren't they? That
Yeah.
it's not what you want, but it does allow you to do certain things.
If there was no Heme Jar, I would quit ESO. Yeah, that's such a good one. Yeah.
I was too late. I just need a moment to gather my wits.
And
throw up.
Throw up. Yeah, I was going to say vomit, but no, it's throw up. And throw up. It's so funny. No, it's a brilliant one. That's a really good call, yeah.
Oh, I love that. There's someone on the team who had that idea,
Yeah.
and obviously going up the ladder, they were ready to listen. I remember hearing an interview with Bruce Nesmith, who was the I think he was game director on
Hey,
Skyrim.
thanks for the follow.
You remember what his title was on it? It was like game director or creative director.
Nah.
I think he was game director, so it's like a big deal. So he worked with Todd Howard
Yeah.
for a long time. He did take a break from Bethesda and work somewhere else, but then he came back for Oblivion and Skyrim. But he's since left the company and was able to do a lot of much more candid interviews than he was previously able. And obviously, neither he nor Todd Howard had little or anything to do with the development of ESO. But I remember him commenting on it, at least, and saying, it's an underrated game. It's fantastic. Problem is, people come to it expecting Skyrim Online, and it just isn't that. That wouldn't work. It couldn't be that. But when people realize that's not what it is, so it's sort of struggled under the weight of that expectation. But anyway, his point was that was, if he had to pick one thing that made Todd Howard amazing at his job, obviously tough to call, but he chose... he sort of highlighted Todd's ability to talk up to investors and to the board members of the parent company and stuff like that, and make them understand why something very expensive needed to happen to make the game better. Because these people aren't playing the game, they might not even be able to imagine what the game is or how it will play. So being able to make them understand this kind of shit has got to be really difficult and super important. And whoever it is that lobbied for and can take some responsibility for voice acting being added to ESO, it reminds me of that this guy, this legendary developer, praised Todd Howard for his unique ability to do this. So it's a bit long-winded, but you know what I mean. It's got to be harder than we'd want it to be to get the suits, the higher ups, to understand why this would be such a cool thing to do. You want to spend how much? It's that kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, you look so sad, this dude. What did I do? Somebody stole my sweet rolls. Oh
Well,
no.
it's all corrupt law enforcement, isn't it?
Right, now a toughie, guys. If you know this, hats off. So who's the original lawmaster? Master in ESO?
I was going to say, what?
Is it
The
Layman
original
Tuttle,
Lawmaster, right?
Michael Zenke, or Lawrence Schick?
Once again?
Layman Tuttle, Michael Zenke, or Lawrence Schick.
And or
I know that didn't come out right. That's 3 names.
the original Lawmaster ZeniMax
Yeah,
online
yeah.
studios.
So you got a
Okay.
couple of guesses for for Zenke. I'm quite hoping that we'll get a new Magicka weapon with April's reveal. New Magicka weapon, like a
Yeah, like staff, but not.
Yeah.
There is a very good reason why that is quite unlikely, I'm sad to say. And people are still seeing my stream, right?
Yeah.
If it were a conventional weapon, yeah, this is my NA character, so I haven't learned anything. But look how many models they would have to make for it. If they added any new weapon to the game. Like a spear, for example. That's the thing. I think people who are constantly agitating for spear to be added might have it backwards. Because, I've never heard a convincing argument why it would be great. I think you'd be better off, revamping some of the existing weapons that we have. But I mean, obviously, it would be cool. But the amount of work to generate a new, appropriately themed asset for each one of these styles.
Yeah, I
Right,
suppose.
maybe not
Yeah.
all of them. But yeah, you'd need all of these in a spear or whatever magical weapon we're talking about. What? But let's set that aside for a moment. What kind of magical weapon would that be?
I don't know.
What would that be? I mean, you could get around the problem we just described by making it a bound weapon of some sort. But what other weapons are there?
I don't know. Like, it could be.
I'm struggling to
Would
think of anything.
javelin, that thing be magical?
No, not really.
No, not really.
Well, that would just be a magical version of a normal weapon, wouldn't it? Like, what magical weapons can we think of? The only one that comes to mind is a magical whip. But
Yeah.
the DK already kind of has that.
I really can't think of anything. Anyone has any suggestions for that one? Like, I have an idea of a spell book. Sure, we have an arcanist, but like, I'm a sucker for the idea of a spell book as an actual weapon. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, then maybe you wouldn't have to do, 100 different styles for it. But that would also make it underwhelming to use in terms of style.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tricky.
All right, Khan, do you know?
The original lore master of ZeniMax Online Studios, Lawrence Schick.
Correct. Who succeeded? Like, how do they go?
Then Layman Tuttle succeeded him, and Zenki is the current one.
Yeah, that's
Although,
correct.
as far as I understand it, Layman Tuttle is still a lore master. He's just not the customer-facing lore master. Is that right?
That's sort of what it sounds like. Yeah.
Or maybe he's the lore master for the next game they're
Oh,
working on.
maybe. Yeah, he's still a lore master at
Oh.
ZeniMax. Yeah.
As far as we know, we know very little, to be fair.
Yeah. What if you just did a one-hand sword and spell, so you don't have to dual wield or sword and board?
That's exactly it. We talked about that
Crystal
before.
board, sword and focus. Huh? I like that. Crystal ball. That's fun.
Crystal Ball is a good one. And the whole one
Actually,
spell in one
yeah.
hand, weapon in another.
I actually looked up an article on a USB. He remains at ZeniMax Online Studios, working on a currently unannounced project. So there we go.
So there we go. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's lore master for the new game.
Ooh.
What was that
I don't
noise?
know. Your mic didn't even pick this shit up.
Treachery.
That was funny. So yeah.
Arrow.
Hello.
I always run into quicksand when I think, what on earth could they be working on?
I know, right?
Of course, it could be literally anything. It could be a brand new property, but given their sort of the heritage of the company and the family of companies, you'd think it would be a property that they own. So what is then? What would that be?
No, what would it
Fallout
be?
instead of Taken? Starfield Online seems a bit of a stretch, but could be.
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls Online 2.
Think it's time to hit the kitchen and try out my new Egg McMuffin maker. I'll have fun there. Burgundian
that
Evolution sounds
exciting.
good. Okay, yeah. So we have some great ideas. All right, I better make notes for Gina. Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, it's fun to daydream about these things, but the reality of it is, the moment you start to think, all right, well then, how would the passives work? How would it interact with other things? It's got to be a bit of a nightmare. So I wouldn't this is not a prediction by any means, but I wouldn't hold your breath waiting for a new weapon skill. As much as
Yeah.
I'd love to see one, I think that'd be really cool. But it'd be a huge challenge.
All right, so the next one. Next question. Which chapter was the first year-long adventure? Feel free to take a guess before I give you guys the options.
Oh, which chapter release was part of
Yeah.
the first year-long adventure? Okay. These are pretty good. These are actually quite good questions because they're not immediately. Oh yes, I know that one. Everyone knows that one.
Awesome, Burgundian Evolution. Yeah, I saw your messages, and welcome. Morrowind. That's a guess. Okay, we've got one. I don't know. That was
What are the options?
okay. I was going to say I don't know what that. Okay, let's just give the options. So, which chapter was the first year-long adventure? Was it Somerset, Greymore, or elsewhere? Mm-hmm.
Ah.
Who are you fighting now? Captain Jackass. What? Well, then Somerset. Okay, so that's a guess. Anyone else has any guesses?
I know this one.
Zarkon also saying Somerset?
The clue is the year-long adventure
Yes,
part, right?
yes, yes.
Yeah, that was
Because, like,
elsewhere,
first chapter is Yeah, it's elsewhere, yeah, you're right. Because, like, first chapter, when you go Orsinium, Morrowind, yeah?
I think
DLC,
Morrowind was the first chapter.
first
but
chapter,
Why,
yeah.
but why is Orsinium not a chapter? It's sort of hard.
I don't get it, yeah.
They just didn't call it that because they hadn't come up with that terminology.
But yeah, elsewhere was the first sort of year-long adventure. Then we had the Year of the Bretons, Legacy of the Bretons, whatever it was called, and then they scrapped it. So we just had 2 years, right?
No, hang on.
Hang on, no, that's not right.
No, we got Elsewhere.
Yeah,
We got Greymore. We got Blackwood, and then we got High Isle. And was Necrom? Wasn't that a year long? No, it wasn't a year
no,
long.
they scrapped that after Legacy of the Bretons,
Yeah.
but Greymore wasn't.
Yes, it was. Of course it was.
Of course it was. Yeah, vampires and all that. Yeah.
The Dark Art of Skyrim.
So how many did they have? 4? 3?
Four.
4. Orsinium was a DLC, not a chapter. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. I just don't.
Because they hadn't come up with that whole...
Yeah.
A lot of that is just to do with the commercial aspects of the model, right? How it was sold and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
But in many ways, it is a chapter like all the other ones that we're talking about. But yeah, technically, of course, not.
So 4. Yeah. Blackwood. Yeah. I keep sort of forgetting the 2 in the middle, but still, they did it for 4 years, and then
It feels like longer. It feels like we were sort of, I don't want to say stuck with, but you know what I mean? It feels like we were stuck with that particular release model for a really long time. Long enough that when they dropped it, everyone was like, oh, well, what are they going to do instead? As if...
Hey, Sin, thank you so much for the sub. It's for 25 months. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Oh!
That's a long time.
Alright, what other questions, Mike? Come on, let's go.
All right. So, how
wanna hear
many
more.
Elder Scrolls video games had been released before ESO was released? Think about that one. How many Elder Scrolls video games had been
Right.
released before ESO was released?
So up to and not including this one.
Yeah.
And obviously not including Blades or
But that,
anything that
shush.
came after. Well, I think everyone knows
Yeah,
that.
but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Is this 7, 11, or 12? Now I forgot which one's correct.
So we know there were 5 because Skyrim was TES 5.
Yeah.
So how many how many Elder Scrolls games outside of the main series was there? That's the
Exactly.
question.
So you got a guess for 7. Yeah.
Hello, Prince Naaman. Why would your ancestors try to kill you?
So you had Arena, Daggerfall, Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim. Yep. So that's
Solid.
the main 5. Yeah. Battlespire, Redguard.
Metalhead Mars. That's a great name.
Metalhead Mars.
Thaliwin Nightshade. It feels like it should be a Nightblade with that name, but a Warden Bosma. That tracks. My stand-in was a Bosma originally.
What else did we have? Let's go.
We call upon our
I think.
pass on their memory and wisdom.
Well, do you want to know what I think, or not yet?
Go for it.
Wait.
No, go for it.
I want to say it's 11.
Name them. So we've got the top 5. Then we've got Battlespire, Redguard.
Oh shit! All right, yeah. So Redguard, Battlespire, and then there were the mobile games.
Yeah, exactly.
Shadow Key. Not Blood Moon. Dawn Star. Oblivion. There was a mobile version of Oblivion, wasn't there? And the last one, I don't remember. But 10 isn't an option, so we're already at 10, aren't we? So there must be one more. I'm sure there's a fourth. Was it just called The Elder Scrolls Travels?
That's the one.
First one?
Yeah. That's
Is it really?
Yeah.
Did I get that right? Hell yeah. I want to check that. Or have you already got that written down?
Yeah. I know that's sort of a cheeky question there, because the sort of with the games you've got 7.
No. It was called Stormhold. The first Travels game.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Stormhold, Dawnstar, Shadowkey, and Oblivion
it, yeah.
Mobile.
Yeah. So games like
They released 4 games in 3 years. Imagine that.
choose.
The mainline series, if they could do that. Holy shit. Our wallets would be in serious trouble.
I know, right? All right. Quick fire. Just try and put the number in there as soon as I ask the question. Just do it. Put it in chat. I want to see what you guys think. Like, quickly. How many trials are in the game? Go. Just chuck a number in. Because it's funny. When we used to do, like, a weekly, like, all the runs to get the coffers and stuff, we had a certain amount, and I stopped sort of counting them since then, so I'm always sort of surprised how many there are. Right, so 13.
It's like the Fast and Furious movies. There's always like 1 or 2 more.
I know, right?
Or it's like the royal family and how many kids they've had. It's always one more.
Sin
What do
is
you
saying
think?
14, Zakon 17, Ted Meister 12. Cool beans. Well, the options
I think. Yeah?
the options I had was 15, 12, or 13.
I think it's 13 or 12.
So 2 people guessed something from the offering. But isn't that funny? Like, if I had to put it down, I'd be like,
What would you have guessed?
Well, that's
I mean,
the
you
thing.
know the
Last time I sort of counted properly was 9. So I would.
How many years ago was that?
Well, exactly. I would have added 4. So yeah, 13, and 13 is correct. So nice one.
Well, it makes sense there would be 10. But then you have to add 2 because the first trial was actually 3.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you had to add another one because there was one which wasn't. In 1 year we got 2 trials.
Did we? What was that?
Well, the year of Morrowind came out.
Right,
It was
yeah.
followed by Clockwork City
That's it, yeah.
in Q4.
Yeah. Oh, how cool! Can we have that again?
What?
Well, just year with 2 trials.
Yeah, right.
All 3.
And 2 really good trials as well.
Hoff and Asylum Sanctorium and Halls of Fabrication they're both such good trials.
Yeah, they're really, really solid. And then Cloud Rest. Wow, that's a really good triple run.
I really would like
Hoff,
another.
Asylum, Cloud Rest,
Yeah.
back to back. Holy
I
shit.
really would like another short trial. I know that people were like, when they release 2 back to back, they're like, "Oh, come on, we don't want this from now on." But it's been long enough. I really would like to see another short trial. There's something really fun about sort of making your own difficulty.
I've got a quick announcement. So, firstly, for chat, guard your ears, brace yourselves. And secondly, for you, Maya, turn around and look out the window.
Oh my God! It's snowing! It's snowing! It's snowing!
It is indeed a snowing.
Ow!
Snur.
Snur! Ah! I'm legit excited now. I was wondering what the hell you were gonna do or say. Snur! Snur! Anyway, I like snow.
Yeah, snow's fun.
Could you guys have guessed? Yeah, I love a short trial too. They are just. I love how they will absolutely dismember a group attempting the hard mode still. Both of them, especially Cloudress, like, you know, an inexperienced group who's like trying to prog it. It's, oh my god, love them, but they're really fun.
Well, I think they've done enough long-form trials now that maybe they'd feel like they can give us another one.
Hey, why were there
Okay.
2 people on the floor? There were 2 ladies sitting.
It's because of the refraction effect of the bubble she's in.
It's snowing. Sorry.
There's a sky shard here.
All right, so this one is a fun one. Again, I'm sure that most of you will know this. Which update prompted Rich Lambert to utter the immortal words, "A little trust would be appreciated"?
No.
That was just wonderful. Update 35. Brace yourself, clipped by Khan. Every single one. 35 combat changes. Yeah, I'm not even gonna give you guys the options because yeah. Let me just. I'm just gonna find something for you guys. I've shown this on this channel a lot, but I just love it. Oh no, do I not have it? What? No, I do. Phew! Alright, this is one of my favorite videos. This is Khan actually asked Rich if he... Do you mind if I record this, buddy? Can we go? In Amsterdam. And it's just so good.
Hey, Ninja Pulls. A little trust would be appreciated.
I just love how he looks like he's about to buckle at the end as well, because he's like... he's got it, you know?
Yeah, he gets the joke. And the fact that he was super game is like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
I even asked the UK rep from Bethesda, like, is it even a good idea to ask him? My instincts say yes. And she just like smiled and said, yeah, go with your instincts. Absolutely. If you haven't asked him in an hour, I will find you and make you go and do it.
It's snowing. Sorry.
Yeah, she just thought that was genuinely funny. And she said, trust me, Rich will find that very funny as well. So
Love that, yeah.
Off you go.
Off you pop. Alright.
Off you fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, Khan got a couple more fun ones, but that one is in particular. Yeah. Alright, so another question. Alright, so first crown crates appeared in December 2016. Let's not get into the discussion about crown crates, but what were they? What crown crates? Crown crates? What? Crown crates.
What was the
first crown crate? Yeah.
Season of crown crates?
Well, I'd imagine nobody's like, I know. So I'll give you guys options.
Oh, yeah, please do. I think I know.
So, pound cakes? Wasn't it flame atro or something? Funnily enough, that's option.
That's what I was going to say, yeah.
So,
But don't trust
option
my
number 1, flame atro crate. So we've already got a couple of guesses for that. Number 2, Ouroboros crates. Number 3, Storm Atronach crates. So there you go.
Hang on, how did you pronounce the second one?
Ouroboros crates?
Isn't it Aurob or Ross?
No, it's not. Red Dwarf. Ouroboros was Twitch drop, can't be that one. Ah, smart. Or can it?
Well, if they were the first crown crates to appear, it could be those.
Yeah, exactly.
But I
Drake
don't...
Pig, hey, hello. Come on,
Yeah, I
Yappa,
don't
what
know.
website would you recommend for builds? Ninja Pulse? There you go. Linked. And if you have any questions, just make sure to join the Discord and tag Khan or me, DM, whatever. Just throw them our way. Like,
Yeah, for damage. And soon, for healers as well,
Yes!
ninjapulls.com.
Yes.
If you need more ideas, skinnycheeks.gg. Because you'll never hear Skinny Cheeks say anything that can't be trusted. It just won't happen.
Oh, no.
and for tanks, hyperioxys.
Yeah, definitely. They're all now on Discord, so they always post stuff on there. Somebody up and just posted a link to Gaming.com, and then because it got deleted, that's just because links. Nightbot doesn't allow links. And just saying, I was just kidding. Don't worry, that wasn't me. Like, excuse me, you cannot post that here. Do your DPS builds work for solo play?
No, they
no.
are DPS.
Yeah.
No, solo play, you kind of need to do your own thing. I don't understand. Well, I do understand, but I think people who make builds for solo, they're looking for clicks. They're not really trying to help. I know that seems a little bit dismissive. Let me just clarify. Because it's a bit like a PvP build. It's fine to offer advice and say, "Here, guys, here's what I'm using. Take it, run with it, tweak it." But when something says the best solo build, that's just absolute nonsense. The best PvP build. Most PvPers don't talk like that because their audience knows better. But I don't know why the same isn't true for solo setups. Solo setups are extremely dependent on how you like to play, how well you play, what you're aiming for, what content you're in. So the idea of giving one solo build, solo anything, I cringe. It's just not the way the game works. So yes, you can have one setup that works everywhere, but you know the phrase "jack of all trades, master of none"? That is what those builds are. And as long as you're fine with that, and the content creator makes that clear, no harm done.
Yeah, again,
that's why I won't do it. I want what I share to be really, really helpful, and for people to come back after using it and say, "Huh, that made a difference. I'm now doing way more damage, or my group is clearing stuff, or I was more successful, I had more fun," whatever it is. I don't want to give a build which relies on the ignorance of the user.
Yeah, again, if you have any questions, specifics, just ask on the Discord. Hyper does solo builds as well. Yeah, I mean, so does Lucht, but those are like soloing hard mode, dungeon hard modes or trifectas.
Yeah, say the vast majority of players.
So it's a good call, Mark, but
You shouldn't try to copy what they're doing.
Unless that's not really for Overland or anything. But if you want to do that kind of stuff, yeah, definitely look at what Hyper and Lucht are doing.
Yeah, and again, take inspiration from it.
Yeah.
Don't just carbon copy it and leave it at that. See what they're using and why, and that's the crucial thing, right? We've all done this where we were new to the game and we wanted a proper PvP setup. What does everyone do? I mean, some lucky few that will find a buddy who's great at PvP and get some tips. What I and everyone else did was just find a website like, I don't know, Alcast at the time, or who was that guy who used to do Dots Gaming? He used to do fairly reasonable PvP builds, and they were fine. There's nothing wrong with the builds, but there wasn't that much context as to why they worked or how you're supposed to use them. And even if that information is supplied, you often don't read it.
Yes,
Just look at what they're running, copy it, and then wonder why you're getting your ass kicked. And so,
like when I'm talking to Kamul, say, okay, I want some advice on build. He's like, all right. So first, what's the play style? What do you want to be able to do? What do you want it to feel like, look like? There's just so much, and that's awesome.
Are you solo? Are you
exactly.
1DX thing? Are you trying to duel? Are you with a small scale group? Are you with a ball group? Are you with a Zerg? What's going on? All those things are massively important.
Yeah, Kobadia used Alcast a bit, and it was. Alcast doesn't play the game anymore.
He stopped playing years ago.
The website's making a lot of money. Let's just leave it at that. That's why it's up. Good for him. He built that following, but it's a shame that website is not updated. Yeah, Maya, when is the next noob trial? Trial run. Well, you're on the Discord now, right? I don't know which rank you have. If you have access to event request channel, if you could either DM me or post it in there. You want some rally, so some cloud resting. Yeah, I'm more than happy to arrange stuff as long as people sign up. Like we did a normal run at the weekend or before.
Is that request for cloud rest specifically?
Yes.
Lawbook. Yeah, so sorry, I can't.
Sorry.
Well, I do feel bad when someone asks for a solo build, and I have to sort of shoot it down. I don't like doing that, but I just want to be honest and say that I don't have those. I mean, I have the ones that I use. I'm happy to share whatever setup I'm using if I'm currently doing something in Infinite Archive or whatever. But I don't tend to put those out there because I'm not convinced that it's helpful.
Any hoodle poodle. I've just realized we didn't actually reveal which crates were first. I think, was it Rosie who got it? It was Storm Atronar crates.
Yeah, I thought it might be, but I seem to remember. I think because I wasn't paying that much attention, I think the first ones I was aware of were the Flame Atro ones.
Yeah.
And when was that, did you say?
2016, December.
So it was
For
quite
PvP, I
early.
recommend Epic. I don't know who that is, but we've got Kamul ESO on our Discord. He's extremely knowledgeable about PvP. He does sort of RP fun builds as well as, but they work. But he is happy to advise on anything. And we've got like some of the best PvP players out there on the Discord. So if you ask and tag the PvP people there, Senpai.
Yeah, the players who are most knowledgeable in this game tend to be the ones who are actually quite eager to help. The idea of like toxic elitists is 99% bullshit. Like there is a kernel of truth to it, as there is in almost everything, right? So there are some people who delight in being, they think that it gives them some sort of status, and they shit on other players, but it's extremely rare. Generally, the people who know the most about the game are the most eager to help. They won't lecture you, they won't tell you you must do it this way. They'll just share what they know.
Yeah, Rosie, I was between Storm and Wild Ones, but you didn't mention Wild Ones, so yeah. Who has PvP knowledge? The dude is called Kamul, Khamul. But if you just are on our Discord and look at the PvP questions channel, if you just tag literally PvP Senpai, he will see it.
If you just type at PvP,
Yeah.
and that tag will come up, and everyone who has that rank
They know their
will
sheesh.
they'll be tagged, and they'll get pinged, and they'll all see it.
I guess I played another campaign. That name doesn't sound familiar. Yeah. Respect to them, although, yeah, he's also like really happy and patient to explain how things work and everything, which is great. Hey, Count Swagula, how's it going? Happy Wednesday.
Good rule of thumb is also if people won't show. You remember doing like a maths test where it wasn't enough to just give the answer; you had to show your working. Anyone who gives you a build but doesn't show their working, be skeptical. And in the case of PvP, anyone who just strings together very short clips of them getting kills doesn't mean the build isn't good or that they're full
They
of it.
just bumped into me in Cyrodiil. It's easy to kill, so...
Yeah, they just met me or Maya in Cyrodiil and killed us in 2 seconds, clipped it, moving on. But yeah, longer clips of them 1vxing and stuff like that, and where you can really see what the build is about. Because frankly, I could put together a pretty crap or mediocre PvP build, and on a busy day, or during mid-year mayhem, for example, I could go in and get a lot of kills, clip them together, and make it look like the build is really good and that I'm really good, when neither of those things are necessarily true. So just be smart and be like alive to that.
Yeah, definitely.
If the clips are very short, it's not a good sign. And if there's not a lot of explanation as to why or how.
Yeah, Kamul is Bisloba's buddy. Yeah, for sure. All right, so another question. Let's go. So who is the guy primarily responsible for monsters and mechanics that wipe your group? Count Swagula is going great. How's the stream going? Yeah, pretty great. Just, what do we do today? So we had some fun facts about what happened on January 8th. Through all the history. Some pretty cool stuff. And now we're doing a bit of a quiz about ESO and what people
10th
know.
anniversary trivia about the production and development of the game.
Oh,
Speaking of which-
hang on. No. We've got Jayla Combo or Combio. Probably mispronounced it. I apologize. Just posted on Twitch. I would like to say thank you for the DPS guides for each class on YouTube. I've been playing for 5 years and still gained quite a bit of knowledge out of them. Much appreciated. Woo! Ooh.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much for the vote of confidence. It means an enormous amount. If ever you feel that way about something a content creator has made, whether it's funny, helpful, whatever, just let them know. It's massive, and it makes your day. I can tell you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you very, very much. Appreciate it.
Hey, Jester, it's me. I'm usually the guy responsible for vibing the group. Anyway, sorry, Khan. You were about to say something. Speaking of which, kind of thing.
Well, I was just going to say, speaking of the 10th anniversary,
Yes.
if you just joined us in the last 40 minutes, Maya was teasing
she
the
was.
big event that we've got coming up at some point in this Q1. We just had additional confirmation from ZeniMax themselves that it is happening. It's going to be a massive raid train, a little bit like the Infinite Archive that Maya did just over a year ago, with loads of different content creators on Twitch. Sorry, it is going to be Twitch only, but a lot of them will co-stream on YouTube as well. But yeah, it's going to be all about different aspects of the game. 10 days, 10 different topics, and we are going to get, hopefully, 10 members of the development team on stream with you guys talking about the last decade and what their favorite moments were, how certain things were done, funny mishaps and anecdotes and general trivia and insight into the development of the game. It's not just going to be a love fest, but obviously, yeah, there will be a little bit of that. But yeah, it's mostly just going to be a celebration and a hang where people can get to know one another, new content creators, streamers that they weren't aware of
This
before.
is more information than we've ever revealed, by the way, guys. So yeah, we're
it
just
is. This is
yeah.
Today. It's literally today
Yeah.
that we've been given the confidence to go public with all this. So massive thanks to Maya. You would not believe the amount of work it has taken just to get to this point, let alone what it's going to take over the next month or two to get all of this finalized and set up. But it's going to be amazing. It's going to be an absolutely fantastic 10 days, and it's all to put on a great show for you guys and the Twitch communities of all our other friends that stream this game.
And I want to get the community involved. So even the players who don't stream, it's about everyone, this one. So I'll be making some announcements on Discord and everything, just on socials, and just let's get going. I'm so jazzed. But I just want to say, hey, Wolf's White Rose, how is it going? And Count Swagula say, I can only agree with that. I got interested in the game again, thanks to you all. And that's saying I would like to say thank you, Jayla Combo. So, wow, thank you so much. And then we've got a sub from Rosie as well. Thank you so much.
Oh, wow, thanks. And what I was going to say was remember that this Twitch channel exists primarily, this is all Maya's hard work, it exists primarily to support the Discord and the YouTube and all the stuff we do in-game in the guild. So if you can support Maya on Twitch in any way, please do consider it.
I would really love to this month. So we're back to streaming 5 days a week, which is something that we stopped for a while because it was just too much. But we're back to that. Plus, we're bringing so much cool shit to the website and YouTube. I don't really know where we don't have more time, but apparently we're making more time for this. But the point is, we really want to make this work. We really want to make this awesome. And in January, I really want to push having a really awesome record watch numbers and people just people coming in and telling us what they want to see, what they want to learn about. So I just want to make sure we make it the best show that it can be for you guys, because you make it what it is, right? You make it fun for us.
For the audience.
Yeah. So if there's something that you think, hey, Maya, try this. I got this awesome game from Vezok that he made it. It's we're going to make a little tier list of guas on Sunday when we're chilling with the stream. So he made that for the stream, which is so sweet, and it's such a fun idea. So if you have anything like that, or want to see something, whatever it might be in the game, whether it's dummy testing, me attempting to build a house, me going through some vet arenas, just say it. Just tell us.
Yeah, we're here for you, and we'd appreciate the support. Anyway, pitch over. We need to do it, and we haven't done it at all today. But
It's just been so much fun.
That's probably enough for now, isn't it, right, Maya?
Yes, sir.
Or did I forget anything?
Nope. No,
Awesome.
You're awesome. All right, so who is the guy primarily responsible for monsters and mechanics to wipe the group? And yes, it is Jester. No, I'm kidding. So I think there was a guest there already, so I'm just going to give you guys the names. If any of them sound familiar, let me know. So A, Mr. Rich Lambert. B, Matt Fyrell. C, Mike Finnegan. What do we think? Wolf's White Rose, Kamal was talking about a thing on his stream and mentioned you. as maybe a collab. Oh yeah, that his
He wants to do a big reenactment of like Lord of the Rings battles in Cyrodiil, which is such a fun idea.
It's an awesome idea. Yeah,
It's pure Cumberwall, but yeah, that would be a separate thing.
yeah, that's yeah. This.
But I'm sure it's not a coincidence that 10th anniversary. All
Oh
that
yeah. But yeah, as I said, I've definitely sort of said to the streamers that were involved last year, or were around helping out. I said, okay, we're gonna do something else this year, so bear with. But yeah,
Some of them are already on board, right?
everyone has said yes, please. So we just need to confirm the date. It sounds really fun. He said it was not finalized, just mentioning it. Well, then maybe he was talking about this. But yeah, it was just, as I said, I mentioned it to a few people, like, we're doing something again. Yes, please. All right, yeah, so there are a couple of guesses from Mike Finnegan, and absolutely, he is the lead encounter designer, so if you encounter with it... What? Is that...
If you kill it or it kills
There we
you,
go.
it's
My
him
teams did it, yeah.
and his team, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously that would be much more than just a collaboration, because it will be a lot of streamers taking part, a lot of people, hopefully. And as I said, hopefully you guys, because lots of fun things I've got planned. So yes, let's go. He didn't want to give the information completely until you all had the time to come together and get dates together. I like him. He's very respectful and thoughtful. I mean, I doubt that this is what he's talking about, because I've not given any information. This is literally the first time we're talking about it properly, guys. So you guys are the first to hear this. Well, obviously other than ZeniMax and Bethesda, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's not an exaggeration to say, like you said earlier, you and Gina talked about this immediately after the last raid train, but you've actually been planning and putting out feelers and trying to get the ball rolling for about 8 months.
Yeah.
That's just how long it takes.
Yeah, and that's
to
fair,
get
yeah.
everything through legal and all of the other stuff that it's painstaking, but it's
And
just
even just
how
this
it has to go.
specific wording that is used for such things is they have to be very careful, and the UK and US laws are a bit different when it comes to these things, so just making sure everybody's on the same page, singing from the same hymn sheet is a pain in the ears. Yeah. No, this is not what he's talking about, and please forgive my break in protocol talking about another streamer. Oh, that's fine.
No,
we
no.
talk about Kamal.
We talk about Kamal regularly. We were literally just doing it.
If you were
recommending him for PvP advice.
If you came here and you're like, Ninja Pulse, you suck, everybody should go and watch, someone else, I'd be like, oh, that's not very nice. But other than that, no, that's awesome. I'm just so excited to see you again, and know you'll be streaming 5 days a week. I know, right? It's great. And I'm really delighted that we're able to make that switch. And yeah, I think that is him talking about the... Shit, should I not have said anything then? Whoops.
Well, I'm the one who said it.
But yeah, he's been planning some...
I thought everyone knew about this, that he's planning some cool...
I'm pretty sure
Cyrodiil
he posted it on
shenanigans.
his Discord. So yeah, we're trying to get a date together, which I had to just say to him, I'm sorry, man, I haven't got a date from these guys, so I can't... Yeah, it's been sort of... But yeah, obviously... Their sort of schedule is much more important than mine, so I'm just gonna wait for that one. But yeah, basically at the moment it's like, let's go. So yeah, I'm very jazzed. That's awesome. Ninja Pulse equals awesome fun. Aw, thanks. I mean, I thought you and he had been doing that monthly since the past fall. Yes, sort of PvP runs. I think we missed the holiday break, but like we did the Halloween one, which... if you guys were here on stream, we had this Halloween weekend, and him and I organized this amazing sort of... It was completely his idea, but it was advertised on our Discord as well as his, and it was all about like necromancers and dressing up for the past. It was like really cool. And half an hour in, I got a call for a interview, which hadn't quite been confirmed, time differences and everything, but I had to drop off.
It was Wes Johnson.
It was Wes Johnson, yeah.
He called Maya up and said, "Stop! You violated the law."
But it was just... I was so delighted to... I was just so delighted to obviously talk to him. And the interview is now on YouTube, and it is absolutely wonderful. That man is just a legend. But yeah, I was a bit.
That was awkward as hell. You had
was-
to drop. And Kamal was super chill about it, but
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
he was.
luckily.
But yeah, so we have been doing those, but he's got some sort of theme VP. I like that. But yeah, he's got some plans to recreate like proper battles. Yeah, it sounds amazing. Like, yeah, if that goes ahead, that would be so cool. But yeah, I'm doing that thing that I really hate when I was like, can we just arrange something, please? Oh, I might be able to let you know like 2 days before. But yeah, as I said, I'm waiting for the go ahead from ZeniMax and Bethesda. So yeah, I'm good with that. All right.
Razum that, yes.
Raz. I have claws, yes? All right. Okay, so last question on this quiz. After that, let's do a giveaway.
Let's do it.
What should we do a giveaway for, Khan? Should we do a month of
What are
ESO Plus?
Let's do it.
I
Month
think-
of ESO Plus.
I think I only have been given codes for PC, so apologies for that. But yes, so
How
that
dare you?
well, it's not me. Anyway, so the last question is: who designed and built all of the environments in Infinite Archive? Sorry, I'll start that one again. Who designed and built all of the environments in Infinite Archive by themselves? And I'll give you 3 options: CJ Greb, Ed Stark, Mars. Any guesses? Like, we talked about this person quite a lot on stream, actually, because we found that genuinely that somebody designed and built all the environments in Infinite Archive by themselves. So there's a CJ guess. That is a good one.
Also, not right. The fact that you say, "Oh, it's a good guess."
Well, that's not what I said. Count Swagula 3. So you mean Mars? Sorry, I didn't quite realize that that's what I was doing, but that's what it sounded like, right?
Totally a giveaway. Yeah.
Mars, yes. Oh, sorry. Yep,
The Mars.
Mars. Anyway, Khan, do you know? I mean, of course you fucking know.
Hey, she thinks we're cute.
Aw.
Oh,
That
because
dude?
I don't look like my usual Dunmer self.
You're done myself. What?
Well, this character's a Dunmer.
I know, I'm just I'm being a dick.
I love the roguish Altmer as well. That's a pretty good look. This guy.
All right, so do you know Khan? I mean, I know you know, but yeah. So
Yeah, that's Mars.
yeah, it's Mars. So CJ Greb is the art director, so pretty close. Ed Stark is the zone lead. So he was responsible for Gold Road. High elves are the best. So yeah, it's Mars,
High
which
elves are
is
the best. Wow.
believe it or not, that is his nickname. But it's very cool, and that's how Mike Finnegan talks about him. So we call him Mars. Shout out to Mars.
Yeah, everyone calls him Mars.
Hey, Dead End. Hey, everyone. Hope you're all having a good day. Yes. How about you? It's snowing here. It's still snowing.
So did you think Mars was the given name, or did you think it was a nickname like Buzz Aldrin or Fruit Loop Swallowitz?
Count Swaggle. I knew it. Honestly, I actually initially thought it was given name. But yeah, a little bit of Googling. Yeah. But it's fun.
That's a pretty cool. It's a pretty cool achievement. Like strong stuff.
Keep that white stuff. It's supposed to be here Friday. No. I'll keep it. I'll have it. Mine's going well on break at work, and I love snow. Me too. And we just don't get in the UK. I grew up with like full on snow. You know, in Prague, like we would have
Yeah, it's
every winter like
chains-
snowed in.
chains on the tires type territory.
But
Yeah.
in the UK, we just. But it's oh my god, it's like fully snowing.
It's not settling though, not yet. I think it's too warm or too wet, possibly. There's been a lot of wet in the last few days.
Wet.
Right, it's 1605. Were we supposed to go to the Infinite Archive
Nah.
at some point? No?
No.
Didn't you want to come NA to level?
Nope.
No, have you changed your mind? Did you say... Did you never want to do that?
The next one now, we need to do a giveaway. So, was it ESO Plus? So, it's for PC. As I said, sorry, that's what I have the code for. So, that's what we're doing next. So, we're going to do the random number. So, basically, ESO Plus, it's a month of ESO Plus, and it just goes on top of whatever you've paid for, or if you haven't paid for, then you'll get it. So, yes.
Hello, David. It's David Shaughnessy.
Hey, Dave.
I'm ready.
Right, let's do a giveaway. Okay, random number. So the way that works is you guys just need to guess what Nightbot is thinking. I'm gonna go for number between 0 and let's go with 20, and you just need to spam that chat, and whoever guess what? That's correct. Oh, it must be 1 and 20. There we go. So now it started. Oh my god. There we go. You just need to spam the chat with a number. Anything between 1 and 20. Just keep going. Just keep going, keep going, keep going. Oh, hang on. Oh no, Igalate already won. I thought that's what it said. Oh my god, that was quick. Literally the third person to type anything. I'm so sorry. I even missed that. All right, let's do another one. Yeah, 199. Well done. But yes, Igalatea, you get yourselves ESO Plus. Have you DM'd me on Discord before? If you wouldn't mind doing that, and I can send you that code. Why don't we do a giveaway for something else, or would people prefer ESO Plus? I feel like we should do 2 now because I got you guys excited, right? That was just so quick. Mm-hmm. What do you think, Khan?
Another one?
Another one of these? Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, before you start guessing, just give me a sec. I need to get it going. That's brilliant, though. That was so quick. This is going to be the same sort of idea, but let's change... If I don't win, it's rigged. Let's go between 1 and 30. Let's have a bigger one. And I've started it now. So start guessing, guys, between 1 and 30. And this is for another month of ESO Plus. Let's go, go, go. Let's go. Let's see who gets it this time. Ooh, lots of guesses. Love it. Bring it. Keep bringing it. Between 1 and 30. Actually, I'm seeing all the correct numbers, not like 122, 69. Oh, we just had a sub. Thank you so much. JL, thank you. Much appreciated. You guys rock. I guess you guys like what we do, maybe. Appreciate that. Still have it. Oh, there we go. Wolf's White Rose, another winner of an ESO Plus for a whole month. So, Igalatea and Wolf's White Rose, please DM me either here on Discord, just so I have... you know, where you want it, and, well, it's PSC. But, yeah, just please do DM me, and I can send you that code. Thank you very much. I love doing giveaways. Is that just me, or are they really fun?
No, that's awesome. Man, why did I slot Quick Cloak? I just aggroed all of the inheritance.
Because you're a silly Billy. Yeah, congratulations.
Well, because it's quick. Varustante.
Oh, she looks cute. Gotta find
What's
you on
next?
Discord. Don't have a whisper with you there. Are you on our Discord? Because then, you know, you should just go to pretty much any channel, like announcements or something, and you see me there. or just type in a channel you can see and tag me, and then I can DM you from there. It's easy. I make it easy. Well, I try. Yeah, it's...
Which is pretty easy.
Shh! Don't tell everyone. Jeez. Anyway. Alpha the Wolf redeemed sent chat a hug. Thank you. That's awesome. I appreciate that. But yeah, so we're going to leave it here for today. What is going on in here? Well, we were just doing some giveaways. And because the first one happened super duper fast, I was like, let's do a second one, right? But yeah, so we'll be back tomorrow. There's a big stream happening tomorrow. We haven't quite decided whether we're going to stream it or not. Probably not. Because, you know, everybody wants to watch that one. But we'll definitely talk about that one, whether it's tomorrow or on...
Well, let's do a quick flash poll.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
if we co-stream the big dungeon reveal tomorrow, how many people would come here to watch it alongside or instead of the official stream? If we get a couple of pluses, then obviously probably not worth us clogging up the airways. But if people are interested, of course we'll do it.
Well, Alpha, there we go. A couple of pluses. 3, 4, 5. All right. 6, 7, 8. Yeah, thank you, Rose. I appreciate that. All right. Well, then maybe we might start a little later tomorrow. We'll figure that one out, and I'll post on our Discord then. But obviously, you know, you can watch both and just... It would be... I think it could be really fun to chat about it as well, especially once it's over.
That's the value of it,
Yeah, because
isn't it? We
Jess,
can talk about it
Gina,
after.
Finn, and blanking Wheeler. Yeah, Wheels is going to be
Wheels
there.
is going to be there, yeah.
So yeah.
So there's not much value in us like talking over them when they've got reveals to discuss. So it wouldn't be like the most vocal stream for the first part, but as they wind down and start just chatting nonsense, and maybe Finn's just running around killing stuff with console commands.
Okay. Well,
and then certainly once the stream is finished, then there's going to be a lot to discuss.
Yeah, okay. Well, I guess we're doing that then. But as I said, I will post on Discord. But on Friday, if you guys are not on this stream, I'll be very, very disappointed because we're going to have a, what shall I call it, mystery hunt? I basically put together a teeny tiny sort of mystery for us to solve together on stream. The mysterious disappearance of Borba Two Blades.
That's my main character. You're going to hunt for my main character.
Yes!
You better not delete my main character.
No. We're not
So
deleting.
do I have to go and hide somewhere? Is that the deal?
Yes. I'll tell you exactly where to hide.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm
there are
in.
actual like things to solve, and I prepped everything so you can see it on stream and we can do it together. So yeah, and Khan doesn't know either. So yeah, it's going to be fun. And then we're not streaming on Saturdays anymore, but we're going to have a nice chill stream on Sundays. So yes, and we're going to be ranking guars. Which one is the guarist? I love that. But as I said, if you guys have any suggestions or anything that you want to see more of, less of, do let us know. Because, yeah, we keep saying it. We want the best streamers can be for you guys. So do let us know. And who shall we go and say hello to? Shall we say hello to Daphne? Let's go and say hello to Daphne. We like Daphne.
Yeah, we love Daphne. Oh, apparently we like Daphne.
We love Daphne. There we go.
I thought we felt more strongly about Daphne.
No, we love Daphne. She's awesome. And she's playing some ESO. So thank you so much, guys, yet again for hanging out. You genuinely are the best community. So much appreciate you. And follow, sub, all of it. And hopefully see you again tomorrow.
Yeah, have a great Wednesday. We'll catch you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.